Hello YouTube, it is I, Shushimushi. We are back with another disturbing true crime video today from the Queen, Stephanie. Just straight off the bat, trigger warning, just from the title alone, I know that this video is going to be very, very heavy. It's obvious it's going to be very, very heavy. The title of today's case is FedEx driver kidnaps a 7-year-old girl after delivering her Barbies, then essays her in the back of a van. So yeah, we are going to get into some very heavy subjects today. I mean, hopefully the girl is alive still. Like, it doesn't say that she was murdered. So I mean, I hope she's at least alive. She's not alive? No. I mean, if that's the case, then I mean, rest in peace to the little girl, man. Whatever the ending of this case is by the end of this video, I really hope it either involves him dying or getting life in prison, obviously. It's cases like this that deserve capital punishment. Capital punishment needs to be brought back. Public execution, like something like that, dude. They need things that I can't say on stream because the video would get taken down. So that's all I'm gonna say, honestly. What more can I say about a case as disgusting as this? Let's get into this.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Technically, a third of your day, you're supposed to be asleep. 8 hours of sleep, 16 hours awake, and at least a few hours alive. We are all sitting around the table with our coworkers going, I had the craziest dream last night. And everybody sits there and they try to decode your dream for you in varying degrees. Some of the coworkers are skeptical. Maybe it's time to lay off on the melatonin gummies. Others say, maybe it's a sign. Maybe you should go through his phone, because you never know. Others say, it's just a dream. It's your anxiety getting worked up and rehearsing all of these hypothetical situations. It's just a rehearsal. It's no big deal. All the way down to the, what about the eggs in the dream? You said you had eggs in your dream? What happened to the eggs? Eggs are one of the most overlooked dream symbols, but you have to be specific. Did you find a nest of eggs? Because when you—
Dude, Stephanie is always like super good about how she begins her videos. Like, you think she's talking about something random right now, but I mean, it's gonna tie in perfectly to the introduction of the entire case. So yeah.
Find a nest of overlooked dream symbols in your dream? What happened to the eggs? Eggs are one of the most overlooked dream symbols, but you have to be specific. Did you find a nest of eggs? Because when you find a nest of eggs, typically that means that you're going to have wealth coming your way, happiness in your marriage, something good is about to happen. But if the eggs are broken and the yellow yolk is just spilling out of them and they're fresh, that's good. Fortune is ready for the picking. Even though the egg is broken, it's coming. Luck is coming your way. And let's say you're eating the eggs, any sort of eggs, that means you're absorbing new wisdom. But every time you take a bite of the eggs, if it doesn't taste good, that means you are spiritually and emotionally too immature and you need to swallow a tough pill. If you're buying eggs at the supermarket, you should probably buy a lottery ticket because that means you're investing in growth and something good is gonna happen. All of that sounds very positive, or at least something that you can work on. And there's lots of symbolisms and nightmares. Like if you dream of a haunted house, each part of the haunted house apparently means something. If you're stuck in the haunted house basement, that means you have unprocessed, repressed trauma that you need to get through. You're stuck in the attic, you have intellectual, spiritual beliefs that you have been neglecting. Maybe a locked room, something is ready to emerge, but your ego is blocking it. There's all these scary things that we can decode. And a lot of people, they have dreams of where they're getting killed or where they're running away from a killer. But what happens if you're dreaming and you're the one doing the killing? Sometimes the scary part is not the dream itself, but what happens when you wake up. 35-year-old Tanner Horner claims he's always had these weird dreams.
Is this the guy, do you think? Is this the driver?
Sometimes he'll wake up and he knows he's fallen asleep in his bed, but when he wakes up, he's just roaming around in his grandma's backyard. He has no clue how he got to his grandma's backyard, but he's just roaming. It's like he blacks out, wakes up, and he kind of recalls how he gets to the backyard, but not really, because it also kind of feels like a dream. He doesn't know if it's a dream. He doesn't know if it's real life. He says, sometimes I recall in weird ways. I recall stuff in dreams. I recall stuff like just random flashbacks through the next day. It's almost like a PTSD kind of thing, but nothing
Wait, okay. I'm gonna jump the gun right now. I have a theory in terms of what I think this guy, this monster, is going to say when it comes to defending himself in court. So we're talking about dreams right now, right? Stephanie is making this a really big thing. Is this piece of shit gonna try and claim that he did what he did to the little girl in his dream, like while he was sleeping, and he had no control over it? That's what I'm gonna guess.
It's almost like a PTSD kind of thing, but nothing compares to the recent nightmare that he's had. He lives in Paradise, Texas, where everybody has been looking for this missing 7-year-old girl named Athena Strand. And maybe like everyone else in the area, he's been thinking about this case a lot because it just materializes in his nightmare. He has this whole nightmare about being the one that kidnapped and kills this missing 7-year-old girl in the local area.
That's crazy.
And then he wakes up and he realizes, oh, thank God that's a nightmare. And then he opens up his backpack and he sees inside a pair of small pants, tiny pants with flowers near the pockets, which is the last thing Athena Strand was seen in before she went missing.
I don't even know what the hell happened.
I called it. I was right. He's gonna act all stupid. Oh my god. So that's his actual defense, that he was dreaming and he didn't know. He didn't. Yeah, right, bro. Yeah, right. He had her pants in his backpack. Why do you think he had her pants? Hey, rest in peace to Athena Strand. That's her name. That's the little girl's full name. Athena Strand. Rest in peace to her.
I don't even know what the hell happened. Like, I just found him in my backpack and I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I thought I just had a really fucked up nightmare.
But no, the pants were inside of his Dragon Ball Z backpack and now he's panicking. He's going to get arrested. It's only a matter of time, but he doesn't even know what happened aside from this nightmare. But can he even trust the nightmare? That's what he's saying. Or maybe somebody's setting him up. Someone planted the pants there. He writes in a note to the police later, "Detective, my family is in danger." He writes that he's being framed for the murder of Athena Strand. He writes, "Don't tell the media, don't tell my family, they'll tell the media. Don't tell the family of Athena until their lawsuit against FedEx goes through. This is between me and you, detective. As long as it stays between us, my family stays safe. I will gladly take the blame as long as my family is safe." That is what Tanner Horner
I will gladly, out of the goodness of my heart, take the blame to protect my family. No, motherfucker, you're gonna take the blame because you did it. Okay? There's no if, thens, or buts about it, okay? There's no getting this twisted. Shut the fuck up with this act, okay? You just did it.
tells the detectives, "I will gladly take the blame as long as my family is safe." That is what Tanner Horner tells the detectives. The detectives know that this is not true, but they listen anyway because they need to figure out what Tanner Horner did to Athena Strand. But it's very hard when not a single thing that comes out of Tanner Horner's mouth is the truth. This is the case of Athena Strand, where Tanner Horner, the FedEx delivery driver, kidnapped and murdered her, is now facing the death penalty in Texas. And he can't even seem to stick to one story of what the hell happened that night.
And once again, here in Texas, my home state, Jesus. Hey, if there's one thing Texas gets right, though, it's the death penalty. We still have that here. Yeah. He better get that shit. He needs more than the death penalty, bro. He needs more, especially for acting stupid like that, for trying to sell that bullshit story. You need public torture, okay? Both your kneecaps popped off with a machete. You need, what else, bro? Ghost peppers shoved in your eyeballs, and then you're forced to eat it. Scorpions, like, I don't know, dude. Like, so you just need crazy shit done to you, bro.
We would like to thank today's sponsors who have made it possible for Rotten Mango to support the Strands Family GoFundMe, which we will also link in the show notes. This episode's partnerships have also made it possible to support Rotten Mango's dedicated team of researchers. We'd also like to thank you guys for your continued support. As always, full show notes are available at rottenmangopodcast.com. A few notes before we begin. This episode contains discussions of essay, violence, and crimes against very young children. Please take care of yourself and don't hesitate to step away if you need to. There are also discussions of mental health diagnosis and autism. Please keep in mind that this individual does not represent these communities, nor was it a motive, explanation, cause, or a part of why he committed these atrocities. I want to be very clear because he's going to go on and blame the fact that he has autism for this case. This opinion or evaluation of his
That doesn't even surprise me. He's already tried to blame it on a dream. Like, oh, it was in my dream that I took off her clothes and I did things to this little girl. Now he's gonna blame his autism. Hey, any fellow autism havers, any fellow autistic people in my chat, don't you just hate it when that happens? Don't you just hate it when your autism makes you be a pedophile? It's so annoying. Gosh, yeah, because that's such a normal thing that happens with autism. Yeah, autism totally causes that.
He has autism for this case. This opinion or evaluation of his is not only wrong, but it's very harmful, and it is not a reliable representation of the community. As of filming this, he is still in the sentencing phase of his trial, but once it's concluded, we're going to have a pinned comment of his sentencing. Everything included in today's case is publicly available online, and specific quotes may have been condensed or shortened for brevity. So with that being said, let's get started. Delivery drivers have favorite houses. Circular driveways, usually great. You don't have to do a reverse, a 10-point turn to get out. These are like the good ones, a favorite even. In the same respect, delivery drivers have houses that they hate going to. One delivery driver says, I just call it the cat piss house. I hate the cat piss house. It's the worst thing in the world. There's cat piss all over the front porch and you smell it and it stays with you. And imagine that in the summer. Another says, there's this one house with a driveway that looks like the surface of the damn moon with how many craters are on it, but their mailbox slot is so tiny, every single parcel has to go to the front door. Mine's a long rural driveway that pretty much is a junkyard. There used to be these aggressive dogs living there and they just had so many places to hide, always out. Anyone's guess of which direction these dogs are gonna come out and try to attack you. The worst are the houses that have lines of cars that are just parked on the street. So you have to park the delivery truck a house down and then run to the front of the house where you walk up 2 flights of stairs to deliver it straight to their door. And it's miserable because a lot of delivery drivers, they get paid by the route. They don't get paid by the hour. So they're running to complete the route.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, it's a huge deal and it's miserable, and sometimes certain roads just have random traffic jams for no reason. It's like everybody forgot how to drive. Tanner Horner is sitting in the driver's seat of the big white van with FedEx written in big, bold purple and orange letters on the side, and he's starting to get very agitated. The entire road is blocked. There's rows of boxes stacked behind him. It's almost Christmas time. It's the time between Thanksgiving and Christmas. This is a delivery driver's peak time for packages. He's got places to go, and he's peering over his steering wheel trying to see what the hell is going on. It's a small residential road. There are cars on both sides blocking him. There's people walking around like this is not a goddamn road.
What year was this?
2022. Tanner sounds annoyed before he sounds curious. There's honking. He's trying to tell the people outside, like, hello, I'm trying to get through. Do you not see my giant FedEx van? He's inching forward and he leans out the window and he's asking,
hey, could you tell him I need to get through? There's like people in the vehicle in the way.
There's a woman who approaches the FedEx truck.
You can pull up and try to act like get through, but there's a kidnapping. So it's all blocked off. So you'll have to just pull up and ask them if they'll let you through, but there's a 7-year-old agent.
Are you serious?
I put all this for.
Sorry about all this, what the hell? Are you serious?
The FedEx truck pulls up to the officers. He asks if he can go through, which they let him through. And there's
Look at him acting so shocked. Oh my god, are you serious? Oh my gosh. This is the first time I'm hearing about this.
no change. The FedEx
All this for.
Sorry about all this, what the hell? Are you serious?
The FedEx truck pulls up to the officers. He asks if he can go through, which they let him through. And there's no change in his demeanor because we have the dash cam footage of him sitting in the truck.
Talking to the police?
Yeah, just talking to the neighbors. I need to get through. And there's no change in his demeanor. In fact, he's holding a cigarette in one hand. There's no fear. There's nothing. Even though all the police have to do is pull the driver to the side, check his phone, check his backpack, and they would know that he's the one that kidnapped 7-year-old Athena Strand.
When was this route that he's taking? Like
The next day. 96 tennis courts does not sound that bad. If you had to search through 96 tennis courts, I mean, it's bad. But let's say you have a drone. Throw it up in the air and it's an easy search unless you're looking for something minuscule. But if you're looking for something bigger, you're gonna find it. Unless you fill 96 tennis courts with tall trees, brush, hill, and almost freezing temperatures, all of a sudden 6 acres is a massive plot of land. Athena Strand and her family live on 6 acres of land in Paradise, Texas, which is about 50-ish miles north of Fort Worth, Texas, if you guys are interested in the locations. But there's technically 2 families that live on this huge plot of land. You've got Jacob and Ashley Strand, and they have their children. A 10-year-old daughter, that's from Ashley from a previous marriage. Then you have 7-year-old Athena, and then they have a newborn baby together. So Athena has a stepsister and then a half-sister. This is a blended family. One thing to note is Jacob is Athena's biological father, and Ashley is Athena's stepmother. She's also been in Athena's life since Athena was maybe a year and a half old. So they're a really well-blended family. And this is very important later. On the same property, you have another house with Athena's uncle and aunt there from Jacob's side. I mean, that's the whole point of living in Paradise,
Too local? Oh, are some of y'all from Fort Worth or like the Dallas area?
Texas. You have another house with Athena's uncle and aunt there from Jacob's side. I mean, that's the whole point of living in Paradise, Texas. The kids can play and run outside, and they have their favorite tree that they would go to and climb up. They would run back and forth down the hill to their uncle and aunt's house and then run back up and run back down. It's the countryside. The kids love it. The house is situated very far from the main road. I don't even know if you can call it a main road. It's just a road that leads people to a few properties, and it's a dead end. So there's not a lot of through traffic. If someone is coming down the road, it's either because they have a reason to be there, they live there, they're visiting a friend there, or they're delivering a package, or they're lost. Not really any other reason. Ashley, Athena's stepmom, says,
She was wild. She loved living out there. Loved just, the freedom of, being a kid, getting to just run wild and free on some land.
she's trying to explain the situation to the police. The bus drops off the girls at 4:30 p.m. The older sister, the 10-year-old, goes to the uncle's house because she needs help with her homework. Athena, she's hanging out with Ashley, the stepmom, and the newborn baby. Athena's supposed to be doing her chores, though. She's supposed to be sorting her laundry because that's the after-school chore. And Ashley's cooking dinner, and Jacob, the dad, had gone out hunting. So it's really just Ashley, Athena, and the newborn baby. So Ashley's telling Athena, go finish sorting your laundry before dinner, okay? So Ashley's like, I'm gonna check up on you after and make sure your chores are done. It's a very normal thing to do. And she goes to Athena's bedroom, opens the door after dinner is done, and Athena's gone. She's calling Athena's name, no response. She calls the aunt and uncle that live down the hill on the same property. Maybe she went to go see her sister there. She's not there. Ashley calls her husband, Athena's biological dad, Jacob, and the police. And at first, everyone thinks, okay, she definitely wandered off. Like, maybe she's lost in some brush. Maybe she tripped and fell. Maybe she's kind of annoyed at you because you made her do the laundry. The main investigator working the case says,
it's really, really cold tonight. I'm a father, and this is my county. Let's find her quick. I don't want her to be cold. I don't want her to be lost. I'm going to come out, and I'm going to provide resources.
the original energy, the whole energy of this grid search is let's go find Athena, get her home, and quote, then we can all go home and get warm. The biggest stressor in this case is it's going to be cold that night. The most efficient way is to bring in the air asset. So they bring in these aircrafts with thermal imaging to look for heat signatures on the ground. They're flying low to the ground. They're scanning for anything that produces heat. Trees do not light up like animals do. They find rabbits, hogs, deer, no human movement. But just because thermal imaging does not show it does not mean that there's not a person in there. Civilian volunteers come in. They start doing a shoulder-to-shoulder search. So they all start at the property line, shoulder to shoulder, and they walk through it as deep as they can get. Because when you have a kid, if they tripped on some brush, it's gonna be hard to find them. So I think like 300 volunteers showed up that night because no one thinks something that nefarious happened. A lot of people were initially under the belief that maybe Athena was trying to go to her aunt's house, maybe slipped, sprained her ankle, can't shout, no one can hear her. So they're just trying to get her home because it's gonna be freezing temperatures that night. They send the dogs out. Volunteers are bringing horses, four-wheelers to go through the property. It's almost the energy of, let's hurry up, get this over with so that we can all go home and it's gonna be like a cute little wholesome story that's gonna be in the papers. Most families in Paradise have properties that sit on at least an acre of land. So this specific property has been in Jacob's family for 20 years. Athena's dad, he even grew up on this property running around. So this is not an abnormal occurrence. Everybody in Paradise knows. But this is what's abnormal about it. When police bring in the dogs keep doing circles around the main house on the property.
Okay, what does that mean?
That means her scent just circles the property and just ends. It doesn't follow a lead into the woods. It doesn't follow and go into the aunt and uncle's house. It's just around the property. And then it cuts off. By the end.
If it just cuts off, if the scent just cuts off randomly, she was picked up then. That's what that implies, that she was like picked up off the ground, as we know, by a man.
Of the night, I think the feeling that she was just lost in the woods is dissipating. They said that they were huddled in a circle as helicopters were flying very low over the property, and that's when they first felt that something bad must have happened. But what? Like, what could happen? The only thing that they know is Athena goes missing, and the only difference in the entire property is there's this blue box that's been left at the door. It's blue box with white around the edges. It's very clearly a Walmart delivery. They open it up, and inside are Athena's Christmas presents. It's a set of Barbies. It's the all-you-can-be Barbies, career Barbies, so each one.
There you go. These are the Barbies that piece of shit FedEx driver delivered. And then I assume that's when Athena came to the door. The driver then saw that she was by herself, completely unattended, and so he led her. Oh, like I'm trying to paint a scenario. He probably led her to like that area in the trees where the dogs were like picking up her scent. He led her by foot over there, and then that's where he then picked her up, like just grabbed her, and boom. Yeah.
And has a different Christmas presents. It's a set of Barbies. It's the all-you-can-be Barbies, career Barbies, so each one has a different career. And that's the only thing that changed. The rangers who have done missing child cases, they typically have a pattern that they follow, with good reason, I will say, but because more often than not, when a child goes missing, the family is involved. One of the lead investigators working the case says,
So my immediate thought is, let's go ahead and lock everybody in on a statement.
That's why they try to get statements as quickly as possible. They want to lock you into one version of events. They're going to try to find evidence that doesn't fit that version, and then they're going to force you to change your version over and over and over again until you're just straight up lying. You dig yourself into a hole, and then you have to tell the truth. But that's really only if you're guilty. So he's locking everybody into a statement, trying to corroborate that with digital evidence. Where were you? Cell phone towers, text messages.
And my goal is to lock everybody in that night, especially the people that were in close proximity to Athena on that time. So that's what I started doing on scene.
They also go to Athena's teacher.
I like that he's at least taking his job super seriously. Like, it looks like this guy's really just like, okay, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing that. Like, he has like a solid plan, and he's going by the books. He wants A done before B, and then B done before C, and then et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
Proximity to Athena on that time. So that's what I started doing on scene.
They also go to Athena's teachers. Kids say a lot about their home life at school that you just would not realize. They just say some crazy things. Miss Thompson is Athena's school teacher, and Miss Thompson is asked to describe what it's like to teach Athena.
I adored Athena. She was so much fun. She was a free spirit. She would come in with, stickers on her hands. She loved to dress up. Like, she truly was a free spirit. Like, there's no other word to describe her. Like, she definitely was a true gem.
Her teacher says there was a new student in their classroom that had needs that were harder to fulfill, and Athena opened up her arms to him. She would play with him on the playground. She has this very big heart. I mean, that's just who she is. And now she's missing. And the last thing she was seen wearing are these little pants with little flowers near the pocket, and a shirt and a jacket, of course, but the pants are very distinct. The lead investigator says he just feels it in his gut. He's locking everybody in a statement, but he just feels something is not right. So he starts shifting his attention to the Barbies that were delivered around that time, which means the Texas Rangers, they need help, they need resources. They reach out to the FBI, fill them in on what's going on. And the first person the FBI want to talk to is the FedEx driver. They're like, let me call FedEx. They contact FedEx and they're like, we need to know who the delivery driver was that dropped off these Barbies, because maybe he's not guilty. That's not what we're saying. We're not that presumptuous, but maybe he saw something. Maybe he saw somebody drive up. Maybe he saw something else. FedEx is like, oh, that's not by us. So that was not a FedEx employee. It's through a third contractor, a third party company that we use in the local area called Big Top Spin, which a lot of these delivery companies are doing this recently, especially with companies like Amazon, where they're not employed by the major company, but they have third party companies in local areas that they dispatch to.
But they still drive a FedEx car?
Yes. So sometimes they will and sometimes they don't. And that's why you might have seen an uptick of people dropping off an Amazon package in a personal vehicle instead of an Amazon vehicle, you know?
It's outsourcing. Yeah. It's to save money.
Sometimes they will and sometimes they don't. And that's why you might have seen an uptick of people dropping off an Amazon package in a personal vehicle instead of an Amazon vehicle, you know?
Interesting.
So it just varies. Big Top Spin, however, happens to be a company where they will give you vans that say FedEx on the side. So it seems like they do most of the contracting in the area for FedEx. They do deliveries during peak seasons. This is between Thanksgiving and Christmas, November 22nd. FBI reaches out to Big Top Spin and they give them a name of the delivery driver who went to deliver Athena's Barbies, coincidentally right at the time that she goes missing, which, I mean, for all the feds know, this could very well just be a coincidence. They want to talk to him. They want to talk to Tanner Horner. They arrest him while he's working in his FedEx truck.
Arrest him?
Well, they did try to talk to him a few times, but here's the very suspicious thing. The time that he drops off the Barbies, he does not record it delivered. So he drops it off, but he doesn't record the delivery on the paper, which is very odd. And then after that, he doesn't have another delivery for at least 30 minutes. But the next delivery zone is not 30 minutes away. So what is this time discrepancy?
Ooh, so in those 30 minutes, like he didn't mark it delivered, he was abducting the girl. Oh. No way. Do you think literally in those 30 minutes, in that time discrepancy, that's when he did the essay? That's when he essayed the little girl? Dude. Oh my God. Wait, no, I'm sorry. My brain is just going places I don't want it to go to right now.
So FBI got that information immediately?
Immediately.
Like the next day?
Yeah.
Wow.
They start talking to him. He's like, I don't know what's going on. I got sick in the FedEx truck, so that's why you have the 30-minute discrepancy. I actually went to a truck stop called Love's. It's like a convenience store and a truck stop. I had to clean up my throw up because I was so sick. And then that's just what happened.
Hey, just to let you know, I was able to tell you earlier because I was trying to go get cleaning supplies at a lot of, but I kind of grew up in the back of the truck. I grew up in the back of the truck.
And he starts getting emotional and he's like, I have a 1-year-old son, so this has been really messing with me too, as I'm sure it's messing with everybody else in the community. But eventually, they arrest him in his FedEx.
That's even more disgusting. That doesn't even help your case. You have a 1-year-old son and you still did this to a 7-year-old girl. If anything, I want you locked up behind bars even more now. Okay? I don't want you, like, the fact that you have a 1-year-old son, I don't want you around your son. God knows what the fuck you're gonna do to him.
Truck too, as I'm sure it's messing with everybody else in the community. But eventually, they arrest him in his FedEx truck, and they have enough reason to believe that Athena is somewhere near him. They slam open the back door. They're looking for Athena in the back, and she is not there. She's not in the truck. Athena's biological mother, Maitland, she lives about 2 hours away. When she heard Athena was missing, even though a lot of people in the community thought that she was just wandering on the property, she drove that 2-hour drive in 45 minutes. She was beside herself. She says that she knows that whatever news the sheriff is bringing to her 48 hours after her daughter has gone missing is not good. So 2 days after Athena Strand has been missing, the sheriff finds the family at the local church. And she knows what he's going to say because she said that when someone is delivering bad news to you, before they deliver the news, they avoid eye contact. And when he brought the family into a back room at the church, he wouldn't make eye contact with any of them.
Yeah, there's a very obvious energy that people give off when they're about to give you some bad news. Yeah, it's really easy to pick up on.
And when he
and it makes your heart sink. It's indescribable how bad that feeling is.
Brought the family into a back room at the church, he wouldn't make eye contact with any of them.
I wanted to tell Sheriff Aiken that he didn't know what he was talking about. I asked him if I could confirm that that was my daughter, and he told me no, because she looks too bad. And I went into a place of denial. I stopped breathing.
Wait, what did he say? Hold on.
That was my daughter, and he was talking about. I asked him if I could confirm that that was my daughter, and he told me no, because she looks too bad.
Oh my God, dude. My heart would actually sink. I think I would just break down in that moment. So the mother asked for a picture of her daughter, the 7-year-old girl, Athena, to confirm it was her. because she needed to see it with her own eyes to really be able to confirm, not just to the police, but to herself, that her child is gone and dead. And then to be told that I can't show you it because your daughter is too physically messed up, that she can't even be identified, and it's too traumatizing. I think I would just like fall to my knees and just go pale in the face.
And I went into a place of denial. I stopped breathing and I started to black out as I heard Ashley screaming. I knew it. I knew it was him.
Tanner Horner is brought in for questioning by the police, and he gives various versions of what happened that night when he came to deliver the package of Barbies to Athena Strand's house. One variation, he says that he was doing the delivery there, and he sees this old green van. It's like a Chevy Astra van. It looked really creepy. It looked exactly like the type of van that would kidnap kids. It had sunspots on the hood of the roof and a piece of the panel missing on the driver door close to the front wheel. He's very specific. So he leaves the packages of Barbies, and then he drives off for the next delivery, but that green van was still there when he drove off. And then he just started feeling sick, so he threw up, and then you get the whole story. Multiple law enforcement agencies put a bolo out for this green van. Lots of resources are funneled into finding this green van because they have to try. Go through the databases, physical surveillance on the ground. They put out statewide bolos, DPS aircraft flying nonstop to locate any green vans in the area. Police start going through tower dumps in the area to figure out what cellular devices were in the area at the time. So like they'll get a cell tower data and see all the active devices. They have to locate this van because if they locate this van, they could potentially locate Athena alive. So we're back to the initial search. This is before Athena's body is found. And as law enforcement are looking for this green van, they're just noticing a lot of weird holes in Tanner's story. Not only did he not mark Athena Strand's delivery delivered, he stops delivering for 30 minutes. And then there's another 4 to 5 deliveries that were uncompleted that night. And just the way that he's behaving is very uncomfortable. It doesn't make sense. He'll have bursts of emotions near the end of the conversation where he's just like, I can't believe something like this would happen because I'm a parent. But that feels less like empathy and more like purging of emotions because of tension.
Purging of emotions because of tension. Yeah. So like subconsciously, Tanner is already feeling guilty. And by the way, Tanner is the name of the sick fuck, the bald guy that did the disgusting act to Athena. So subconsciously, I mean, he's interacting with police. He knows that the police are onto him, that they're trying to track the little girl that he essayed and killed. So subconsciously, that guilt is starting to weigh in on him, and he's starting to get scared that he's going to get caught. So him randomly going, oh, I just can't believe this is happening. Like, oh, I have a little kid. I have a little boy. Sorry. I have a 1-year-old son. This just breaks my heart. That's him subconsciously or like sneakily trying to get rid of guilt from his brain. Yeah, like trying to get guilt out of himself. Yeah, like trying to like basically venting a little bit to ease some of the tension that's inside of him. Yeah.
In the interrogation room, during one of the countless conversations between the lead detectives and Tanner Horner, as Tanner is explaining what happened, the detectives step out for a second. And when they get back, there's this huge whiteboard on the wall that interrogators use. And in red marker, it's scribbled, "He's going to hurt me, please help."
What?
So the detectives are like, did you write that while we were out of the room for a second?
Why do you? I say too much. I'm going to die.
Hell no! Hell no! This motherfucking theater ass kid. So the investigators left the room, and he probably cooked up this story in his head like, oh, yeah, actually, dude, I'm gonna make this like a movie. There's a hitman out there, an assassin trying to kill me, trying to frame me, trying to ruin my life. I'm gonna write on the whiteboard while they're gone, while the investigators are gone. He's gonna kill me. He's gonna find me if I say too much. Yeah, and then I'm gonna make up this whole story about how somebody else actually killed this kid, and they're trying to frame me. And, you know, out of the goodness of my heart, I'm gonna take the blame, you know, just to protect my family. But you guys know I'm innocent, right? Yeah, I'm a good guy. Shut the fuck up, dude. Like,
I say too much. I'm going to die.
What the fuck? Dude, even his voice acting sounds like some kind of, like some Shakespeare-ass play. If I speak too much, I'm going to die. Shut your bald ass, fat ass, pedo ass up, bro. Die.
So like, what does that even mean? Who's gonna die? Why would you die if you say too much? What are you talking about? This is part of Tanner Horner's story that there was another party involved. And he goes back and forth. So it's not this chronological timeline of story 1, story 2, story 3, story 4. It's just a merging of all the stories. But in the event that he claims that there was another party involved in this kidnapping, he even wrote this note later for the detectives as he's sitting in jail. Detectives, my family is in danger. The day Athena was killed, I wasn't the only one involved. When I pulled up to the house, an older man had pulled a rifle on me and demanded my wallet. It's weird. He almost expected me to be there. After he checked my wallet, he gave me instructions. After handing me back my wallet, he told me to take the girl and bring her to a specific spot, this tall grass bamboo area. He gave me a change of clothes for the girl and told me to have her change into them before handing her to him. He had threatened my family and I didn't know what to do, so I just went along with it. Don't tell the media, by the way. I don't know if he's gonna do something. If I'm killed on the way to and from the courthouses, I'll assume it's him. When I handed her over, she seemed like she knew him. It kind of freaked me out. When she calmed down after seeing him, I shut my headlights off, I followed them, and I saw him park his car near that creek. The next day I went there and I saw the girl's body in the creek. I needed to get this out, even if it was just in writing. Don't tell the media, don't tell my family, they'll tell the media, don't tell the family of Athena until after their lawsuit with FedEx goes through. This is between me and you, detective. As long as it stays between us, my family stays safe. I will gladly keep the blame as long as they're safe. The man was older, probably 50s, gray hair, short military style haircut, kind of fat with a bit of upper body muscle. I handed him the girl's clothes when I gave him her. I either missed the pants or put them back in the truck somehow in my backpack, I'm not sure. But 3 times he asked me about the cameras on the FedEx truck. Unless y'all find him, keep it from everybody. I don't want my family hurt. I'm sorry I've been a burden on y'all.
There's a camera in.
Bro, I was letting the story finish. I didn't want to cut it off. But like in that story, he literally tries explaining exactly what we learned when Stephanie, when Rotten Mango was recalling the investigation going down at the house. What the fuck? Oh, anyway, at the house. You guys remember how the dogs in this grassy bamboo area were sniffing Athena's scent, and they were just going in circles, right? And then that's where the scent ends, as if the girl was picked up or something, and that's why that's why the trail would end, right? Sorry, my bad. That's why the scent would just disappear and there was no trail or anything. He basically tried explaining that away in his story by saying that the man, the mystery man, told him to take the girl to this grassy area and then to pick her up and take her to a car or something like that. Yeah. So bullshit. So bullshit.
FedEx?
From everybody. I don't want my family hurt. I'm sorry I've been a burden on y'all.
There's a camera in the FedEx?
Yeah. So he tries to go with this whole story that there's another man involved. Authorities sweep the entire state practically for this green Astro van that could be involved in Athena Strand's kidnapping, and they don't find it. I mean, I'm sure they do find multiple green Astro vans, but nobody that has any sort of connection with Athena Strand. And it's just a revolving door of excuses with Tanner Horner. So first he says he doesn't even remember delivering the Barbies to Athena's house. Then he says he remembers and he had to be quiet because that man was involved, that suspicious old man in the green van, and he was getting framed. Then police are able to get the dash cam footage of Athena inside of the FedEx truck.
Pretty sure the mystery man never told him to SA her though. But see, once it gets to that point, like watch, I can already see what's gonna happen. They're going to tell him that like, hey, we found like that kind of nasty DNA. You guys know what I'm referring to. That nasty male man DNA on the little girl. So can you tell us about that? You can already guess that this Tanner guy, this disgusting pedo fuck, is gonna try going like, what? She was SA'd? The mystery man must have done that. Oh my God, no, the mystery man. He definitely did that because I don't know. Yeah.
Truck, and he was getting framed. Then police are able to get the dash cam footage of Athena inside of the FedEx truck. Video placing Athena.
Yeah, he's just gonna keep blaming all the bad stuff on this mystery guy that he made up in his head for his story.
To get because that man was involved, that suspicious old man in the green van, and he was getting framed. Then police are able to get the dash cam footage of Athena inside of the FedEx truck. Video placing Athena into the truck, into the back of the van. There's video of him putting her into the back of the van, and they don't see a green Astro van anywhere in the vicinity. Then he switches his story. He says, let me tell you what really happened. All of this is an accident.
When I was trying to get myself situated where, I have an easy way to get out of the property, I got to pack out the here. I didn't know what to do. One main fear was I could lose my child, grab her to go.
He says the first version, she was already practically dead when he hit her with the truck, but that's not true at all. There's dash cam stills of Athena alive and unharmed in the FedEx truck, at least in the beginning, to which Tanner...
Oh, wait, let me rewind so you can see his face.
He says the first version, she was already practically dead when he hit her with the truck, but that's not true at all. There's dash cam stills of Athena alive and unharmed in the FedEx truck, at least in the beginning, to which Tanner then changes his story once more. Okay,
What's that camera? Like it's the reverse.
So there's multiple cameras all over the FedEx truck. There's a reverse camera that he says was not working at the time. There's cameras in the back of the van. There's cameras where the packages are. There's cameras like all over the inside and outside of these FedEx vans. However, he covered up a lot of them with sticky notes. Before, we don't see the footage of him placing Athena in the back of the truck. We don't know which camera it is. I'm assuming it's probably an exterior camera. But the interior camera, he's covered up most of the ones in the back.
So there are a few that's not covered?
There's one in the front dash that shows him driving. That's not covered, at least initially. And you can see Athena, that's where the picture comes from that everybody has seen. There's a still photo that has been used in trial where she is standing between the driver's seat and the passenger seat and she looks really alarmed and he's just driving. Eventually, the detectives will get their hands on the full audio from the cameras because even though he covered them up with sticky notes, the audio is still recording. Eventually, Tanner changes his story.
Oh gosh, bro. There's audio. He blocked the camera, sure, but the cameras still have microphones. I would not even want to listen to whatever the audio captured. I would not want to listen to whatever the microphones captured, bro. Like, I feel like you would hear screams or, oh my fuck.
Eventually, Tanner changes his story once more.
Oh, dude, I didn't read the subtitle of the article. In court, April 16th, jurors heard audio of Jingle Bell Rock playing as 7-year-old Athena Strand screamed in the back of the FedEx driver Tan Horner's truck. So he was literally abusing this poor little girl as he was playing a jolly ass Christmas song. How evil can you get? The act itself is already evil, but to put this kind of song on is like it just takes it to an even more disgusting level. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm trying to say. Jingle Bell Rock is something you affiliate with like very happy memories of when you were a kid during Christmas and stuff, you know? So for him to play that while he's doing what he's doing, yeah, I'm just gonna stop there.
So he backs up into her. She's alive. He puts her in the back of the van because he's freaking out about losing his job. And then he decides that he's going to strangle her to make sure that she keeps silent about him hitting her with this van. He claims he didn't do anything else to her. He just, quote, tossed her body so that he could keep his job.
Just kind of tossed her in.
Tanner Horner takes them to a location filled with bamboo. These are like 10-foot tall bamboo trees, stating that this is where he left Athena's body after he killed her, but only because it was an accident. The lead detective says, I'm walking him, and he's pointing at a location that's not too thick into the bamboo, and he's stating that it's not too much further in there, and just essentially giving me an idea of where she was in the bamboo. They bring in the dogs, they bring in other help, and the detective immediately knows this is not where Athena Strand is.
At that time, I felt like I was being lied to again, and that she was not there. Just the amount of resources we had, especially with K9 resources and everything, it would, in my prior experience, especially if we're being directed to that area, we usually find, unfortunately, human remains or humans with the K9 very quickly.
Tanner Horner offers up the possibility, maybe potentially after he, quote, tossed Athena's body, somebody else came and picked her up. And the police, the whole time, they do a really good job of not getting triggered because I think this case has really affected everyone in Paradise, Texas in a very strong way. I mean, cell towers, Athena Strand's color is pink. That was her favorite color. Cell towers, government buildings, city lights were all changed to pink for the longest time. I just imagine that these police fucking hate his guts, but they don't show it.
I wanna address something really quick. This is a positive thing. The community in this video is really, really nice to see. I didn't point it out earlier, but I mean, there was 300 plus volunteers that volunteered initially for the search to help police officers search for her. And then now, I mean, now you're seeing not just fellow neighbors, but government buildings around the area lighting up their exteriors with pink lighting or with pink things in general to commemorate, to remember Athena. I think that's really nice. That's really wholesome. The sense of community that's being shown in this video is it's heartwarming.
Pink for the longest time. I just imagine that these police fucking hate his guts, but they don't show it. And they're trying to be very chill with him. And they're like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But like, who would do that? Someone who wants to be a hero who's like, oh, I found the little girl. You think that's what it is? He's like,
I've noticed there's quite a bit of tweakers out there.
What's that?
Tweakers, I guess, a very derogatory term for people who use drugs, typically used against people without homes. I think he's trying to paint this picture that someone very nefarious came along and took Athena Strand's body, and he's just like the innocent guy who, quote, tossed her body. He uses the word tossed multiple times.
He tossed her in. Just kind of tossed her in. Kind of tossed her in.
How old is he?
At this point during the trial right now, he's 35, so he must have been 30.
Question, didn't we already watch this? Gee, I don't know, dipshit. This video only came out a month ago, and I haven't, so we haven't covered this ever, okay? Jesus Christ, I hate getting comments like that.
How old is he?
At this point during the trial right now, he's 35, so he must have been 31, 32. And she's not here. She's not in this bamboo. It's very clear. And it's not until 2 days after she goes missing, the investigators are led to Bobo Crossing. It's a bridge and a creek. Nobody knows why it's called Bobo's Crossing, apparently. It's just a creek with murky water. It's very stagnant. It gets very deep at the center. And they see Athena submerged in about 3 feet of water.
When I first walked up to
Jesus, dude. Imagine that sight. I know you don't want to imagine it, but like to see her just left like that. Again, this is all why I want this man to be tortured. For him to have just left her in a lake like that. Not even like a person, just tossed her like that, like a piece of trash.
So he changes his story. He's like, okay, fine. I took her to the creek.
This is 2 days in? Or
48 hours, about 2 days in.
And based on the water visibility, it was dark. I had a flashlight. I angled the flashlight at different angles, and I was able to see her nude body buoyant beneath the water.
She's a very tiny frame, 4 feet, 4 inches tall, and only weighing 62 pounds. So she's face down in the creek with her arms to the side, completely unclothed in the water. And authorities say they were led
Completely unclothed.
to Bobo Crossing by a person named Zero. Zero is the one that led them here. Zero says he's the one that killed Athena, not Tanner Horner. It's all him. He got rid of her after all of that, and he took off her clothes as a way to humiliate her. It was all him. The lead investigator asks him, did y'all, like you and Tanner, really try to break her neck?
Wait, what? Wait, so there's actually another guy involved? There actually is a mystery man, and his name is Zero, like a code name.
The lead investigator asks him, did y'all, like you and Tanner, really try to break her neck? Zero responds, it didn't work.
wait, I'm sorry. Zero is the real name?
Yeah, Zero's a name.
Okay.
And the investigator asks, I mean, was it you trying to break her neck, or was it Tanner trying to break her neck? Zero says it was all him. He's the one that broke Athena's neck. Did you choke her from behind like you said earlier? He's nodding. Did she defecate on herself? He nods. Did she struggle? He nods. He says that she was struggling and trying to kick him, but she wasn't able to. They ask about whether or not he took any of Athena's clothes, and he responds, no, I just threw her clothes on the highway. So you're saying you stripped her naked to throw her clothes out the window on the highway? Is that what you're saying? Because why would you take off her clothes after you kill her and then throw her in the creek nude? I thought it was funny. You thought it was funny? You took all her clothes off of her, shirts, pants, underwear, everything? I left the panties on. So why did Tanner take any of the clothes home, you think? I don't know, he's not stupid. He later takes that back, and he admits that he's the one that planted the pants in Tanner's backpack. Quote, the pants and the underwear. You said it was funny throwing her clothes out on the highway. Which highway did you throw them out on? 14. Why'd you take her clothes out there? It's funny. Is that like a form of humiliation? He nods really slowly and says, she was gonna tell. So you had to punish her. He nods slowly again.
Do you think this is Tanner in like a disguise or some shit? Watch this as Tanner, but like wearing a hoodie and like a mask and stuff, because this is too much of a coincidence. This is too much of a coincidence. I think this is Tanner, Zero. I think Zero is Tanner, hiding his face, hiding any kind of identifying details about himself to add things anonymously to the story for the investigators that helps Tanner. I'm referring to Tanner now like he's a different person, but I think it's the same person. To help Tanner's story, to help himself get out of this. Yeah.
So you had to punish her. He nods slowly again. Did you tell her, like, did she tell you she was gonna tell? He nods. She did? When did she tell you that she was gonna tell? At the house. Who the hell is Zero? And what the hell does he have to do with any of this? Was he in the FedEx truck? What's his connection to Tanner? Zero is Tanner's alter ego, according to Tanner Horner.
I'm fucking done, bro. Officers, just kill this guy. Just fucking kill him. Never, dude. Oh my God.
Is this recorded or?
All recorded. Tanner then moves on. So he goes from, I'm being framed by a green van man. And then he goes to, it was a complete accident. She was already dead when I backed up into her. And then I just disposed of her body. It was a pure accident. I was overworked. The FedEx camera, trucks, backup cameras don't work. And then it switched to, you know what? She was alive when I put her in the van, but I had to strangle her because she said she was going to tell. And then it turns into, but it wasn't me strangling her. It was actually my alter ego, Zero, strangling her because I have 3 alter egos. Tanner then gives the investigators his newest version of events. That Zero is to blame for all of this.
I'm getting rage baited. I'm getting so fucking rage baited. I want to punch something. So he's gonna try and go for the insanity charge, isn't he? Isn't he? He's gonna try and go for the insanity card, so he can get a lesser sentencing.
So how did they get?
His newest version of events. That Zero is to blame for all of this.
So how did they get to speak to quote zero.
Okay, that's the very frustrating thing too. So not only is he just trying to use autism as an excuse to negate any bad wrongdoing that he's done in the entirety of his just god-awful life, but on top of that, he tries to pretend that he has DID. I don't even think he knows what he's doing. And then the only way you can talk to Zero is the investigators go,
DID? What does that mean again? What does that mean? DID, dual. What is it? Like dual personality, right? Or something? DID, what is that? DID, what is that? Dissociative identity disorder. Oh. So he's gonna try and basically say every mental illness in the book. I'm autistic, I have DID, I'm bald, I'm a fat fuck. So no, yeah, that's why I did what I did. Like, dude, come on, bro. Holy shit.
Zero? I think he knows what he's doing. And then the only way you can talk to Zero is the investigators go, Zero, I would like to talk to you. And then he rolls his eyes to the back of his head and he tilts his head to the side. And suddenly he's giving the worst performance I've ever seen in improv history. That's how you talk to Zero.
So he changed his whole mannerism for that, right?
Yeah. This is my personal belief. I tend to believe that Zero is his real personality. And I'm not saying personalities as in he has different alters and different personalities. I think those are his true inner thoughts. And Tanner is like how he would like to present himself to the world. There's just a lot in the interrogation footage.
Ooh, I like that from Stephanie. Wait, that's a really good explanation, or like a really good, how do you even say it? It's not even a theory. It's just like really, it's just a good explanation of how monsters like Tanner behave. So Tanner is the mask that he wishes to portray to the world, to appear innocent. I'm just a FedEx driver. I'm a worried dad. I have a 1-year-old kid. But these quote unquote separate personalities as a result of his quote unquote DID, those are his true self. Those are his true inner thoughts, his inner desires of how to behave. But Tanner is the fake mask that he portrays. Yeah.
A lot of and Tanner is like how he would like to present himself to the world. There's just a lot in the interrogation footage. There's a lot of things that don't make sense, but I'm just going to give you the most important parts. At some point, Tanner is still trying to sell this story that he himself, Tanner Horner, and Zero, who is still him, but he himself never wanted Athena to get hurt. And he has this very alarming, jarring moment during the interview where he says,
She was a sweet kid.
and he's describing how they're driving down the road and she kept asking where we were going.
I dragged her on for a bit just trying to figure out what I was going to do about the situation.
And what's she do?
Asking questions, we're just talking at this point.
Yeah, she sat down, she's standing up, she in the passenger seat, where she at?
She's standing out. She's in the back.
Okay. And then where?
We went down this private road and I listened to that little voice again.
So he's saying that this little voice is Zero. He starts sniffling into his hand. He's like in the interrogation room, sniffling into his hand, leaning up against the wall. The investigators are like, it's all right. And he's like, it's not all right.
No, it's not all right.
Well, no, it's all right to tell me. It's okay to tell me. You gotta get it off your chest.
I just told her to turn around and
You also,
There we go. Is it getting to the essay part? Is he actually going to say that he did it? And then he's going to blame it on the alter ego?
you chucked her?
and
You also, you chucked her? One hand or two hands? Two. What, was she facing away from you when you chucked her?
I'm sorry, Rafa, I tried to
Oh, you tried to break her neck?
I tried to break her neck, making it as quickly as possible, but it didn't work. She started crying.
He says he had her face away from him. He just didn't want her to see it coming. He doesn't recall how long it took. He doesn't even have a ballpark of 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes. He says the voice just said that. You know, he's got to get rid of her.
There's a video when he was beaten up in prison. Oh, bro, after we finish the video, link it. I have to see him getting his ass beat, please.
I didn't know what to do.
30 minutes. He says the voice just said that. You know, he's got to get rid of her.
I didn't know what to do. One main fear was I could lose my job, lose my source of income, like everything was on the line. I didn't know what to do. Go ahead.
He says he came to the realization, quote, I couldn't just keep running around with the kid in the back like that. So he stops by the bamboo trees and he just, quote,
I just tossed her anyway. I couldn't just keep running around with a kid in the back like that. I just tossed her in the bush or wherever you want to call it.
And you sure she was not alive at that time?
I was relatively sure, okay. I mean, I didn't check her heartbeat or anything, but I'm relatively sure because she wasn't alive. Okay.
Did you mainly do this because you didn't want to get in trouble for hitting her with, or FedEx, or legally, or what?
I was panicking, I didn't know what to do, and then it almost seems like it was a dream. For the most part, it just kind of seems like I wasn't, you know what I mean?
We've seen this play before. We've seen this type of plan before to try and paint it as like a dream, or like like not even like a dream in the way that we think about it, like, oh, you went to sleep and then, you know, you dream of stuff and then it turns out you actually did it. No. It's like he's trying to blame it on some kind of manic state that he was in, where he wasn't all the way consciously there, you know? That's what he's trying to say. Like, he was in a manic state where he wasn't present mentally and he did things that were out of his control, quote unquote. It's just bullshit, bro. We've seen all this before, yeah.
Like I wasn't behind the wheel at the time.
When I asked him if he communicated with her, he stated that he did, and she told him her name, and also asked him if he was a kidnapper.
One of the first words Athena asked was, "Are you a kidnapper?" At one point, he tries to say that the van didn't have backup cameras or sensors, so he believed that contributed to this happening. And then he claims that he tossed her in the bamboo woods. Toss, again, that's the word that he chooses. And he says that he didn't put her deep into the bamboo woods because he wanted her to be found. Why would you want her to be found? Because I'm a parent. I would want to know. Okay, during the next couple of days, you didn't go back to the bamboo forest. So he's saying, like, I'm not the one that moved her to the creek. I put her at the very edge of the bamboo forest.
During the next couple of days, you didn't return? Why? You're a parent?
I didn't want to know what was. I was hearing updates about this constantly. Trying to make it to where somebody would find her.
After getting rid of Athena's body in the bamboo area,
I was trying to make it so somebody could find her. So he's trying to be a good pedophile kidnapper. He's like, oh, like I'm a good one. See, I put her in a place where I thought she would be found. Like, what? So for the so for the good parts, for the parts where he kind of dials it back, that's when he's conscious. That's when he's normal Tanner, right? Is that what he's trying to say? Like, oh, see, the good in me wanted her to be found, but then the evil me, Zero, that's when I would essay her and do whatever else I did, like kill her and choke her.
He says that he went
to where somebody would find her.
After getting rid of Athena's body in the bamboo area, he says that he went to Love's, which is a convenience store and truck stop where he gets cleaning supplies. The lead detective is like, did they ask you what you're cleaning up? Because he didn't even buy the supplies. He says that he just went to the counter and was like, hey, I made a mess in the van. Can you give me some cleaning supplies I can use? So the front desk gives him some cleaning supplies. What did you tell him you were cleaning up?
He stated that he was cleaning up vomit and feces.
Whose vomit?
His vomit.
Whose feces?
Athena's.
He continues to insist that he is not the one that killed Athena. He believes it was like he was in the backseat. He was almost dreaming at the time. He believes it's his alter ego Zero. Now, we're going to go into what Tanner and his I don't even want to call it an alter ego. What Tanner says, pretending to be Zero, it's not even in the slightest bit believable. It's like pissing on someone and saying that it's raining. Nobody's believing it, and it's just insulting to those who actually have DID. But before we go there, let's go through.
That was funny from Stephanie. Again, like whenever Stephanie just comes out with a random, I mean, that wasn't a curse word, but like hearing her say words like that, like piss, like, yeah, it's like pissing on somebody and then saying it's raining. Like, yeah, it's funny. I don't know.
Tanner says, pretending to
pop off, Stephanie, pop off.
Be Zero. It's not even in the slightest bit believable. It's like pissing on someone and saying that it's raining. Nobody's believing it, and it's just insulting to those who actually have DID. But before we go there, let's go through the irrefutable evidence. There is footage from inside the FedEx truck where Tanner had preemptively covered the FedEx truck cameras with sticky notes days before the kidnapping, which a lot of people believe that this indicates he was trying to kidnap someone within the next few days. He made sure that
if he was covering the cameras days before with those sticky notes, there's no way that story holds up. It's premeditated. There's no way his alter ego Zero was taking control that much in advance, because that many days in advance, surely if you were telling the truth about your alter egos, you would have snapped out of it eventually, went back to normal Tanner, and then been like, oh yeah, let me take off these sticky notes. Like, why are these sticky notes here? That shouldn't be there. They're covering the cameras. Like, no, that wouldn't make sense if he was telling the truth, which he's obviously not.
He was in the same, this indicates he was trying to kidnap someone within the next few days. He made sure that he was in the same FedEx van all those days and then even after the crime so that he could be in control of what they've been calling his mobile crime scene. But there's still audio recordings and at least a few visual pieces of evidence that place Athena alive and in the back of the FedEx truck. There are also markings on her face. There are grid-like patterns that match the floor of the FedEx truck as well as boots. They call it a tread pattern. The ME says it's kind of like zigzag patterns, and it's like if you were to press someone's face down onto the van floor. She suffered some sort of trauma or event that would cause her to clamp down so harshly on her own tongue that there would be teeth markings embedded into her tongue. There was a rope, bungee-like cord found inside the truck. There was DNA tested on vaginal and anal swabs that came back. There was blood and semen found on several of Tanner's clothing, including his FedEx work shirt, his hoodie.
There you go. There it is. Yeah, there it is. Like, you, fucking kill this guy. Just kill him. Kill him. Fucking hell, bro. What a sick fuck. Jesus Christ. Why the fuck was there semen on his hoodie? Gee, oh my, what, you tell me, motherfucker. You tell me, why do you think there was semen on his hoodie? You want me to spell it out for you? Jesus, like, what kind of question is that? Obviously, he used that to probably clean stuff. Come on, man. Ugh.
Jeans and underwear. Blood and semen found on several of Tanner's clothing, including his FedEx work shirt, his hoodie, jeans, and underwear. Athena was presumably essayed in the van before being strangled to death. After killing Athena in the truck, he makes sure that his next few shifts, he gets the same exact FedEx truck. And Tanner, he refuses essaying Athena, and he continues to state that all of this happened just because he backed into Athena and he was scared of losing his job. And nobody believes it. Nobody believes that he backed into Athena. Nobody believes any of this.
Like, I have a 1-year-old, man. If I lose this job,
Even if this whole accident story were even a smidgen believable, which it's not, Tanner's telling the detectives that he tossed her body, he tossed her here, he tossed this. There's just a lack of remorse and a lack of care when he even references Athena. If this was a pure accident, I would imagine that someone is in shambles describing what happened.
No, yeah, and it's like extremely downplaying language. Like that kind of language is super downplaying. Like, oh, I tossed her here, I tossed her there. Like, no, you slammed her, you were pressing her face against the FedEx truck floor, which is why there was like prints of the floor on her face. Jesus, yeah.
Investigators is Athena. If this was a pure accident, I would imagine that someone is in shambles describing what happened. The investigators ask, did she bleed or anything in that truck? I don't know, possibly. He says that he did throw her in the van so she could have some cuts and stuff from being thrown in the van. But, quote, I'm not some sort of psychopath.
You can look at my history. I'm not some deranged psychopath.
He says after he kills a little...
I'm not a psychopath. I mean, you're right, kind of. You're not just a psychopath. You're a psychopath. You know what? No. I'm not gonna go there. You know, I'm not, yeah, let me just chill, bro.
Girl.
You can look at my history. I'm not some deranged psychopath.
He says after he kills a little girl, he goes home after a shift and, quote, I just went home and I went to sleep. I took my sleeping medication, watched Game of Thrones, and I was out.
Did you take anything from her? And
not that I can think of. I mean, I might have found the sock on the thing, but I just kind of threw it out.
So he's just making it sound so casual.
Is that a maker, or did you find a sock?
I did find a sock, but that was just...
Was it one of her socks?
I think so.
Okay.
Which, by the way, he took the socks home and they were found in this, what could be described as a junkyard on his property. Was it one of her socks? And he's like, I think so, unless it's just some other driver's sock. And they're like, well, I mean, you would be able to know if it's a little girl's sock or a driver's sock. Be real. And he's like, yeah, okay.
By the way, I do think she pooped herself also when there you go, I'm saying.
You choked.
What?
How do you know she took her though? I mean,
The smell there when I was moving her, some of it found on the floor.
He says he stopped by the truck, stopped clean. What did you pay when you were...
Yeah, and that's extremely normal. I mean, when you die, or like when anybody dies, the body lets loose. All of the organs, everything loosens up when you die, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. So if you had poop in you, if you had pee in you, it's getting released.
As he stopped by the truck, stopped clean. What did you pay when you were at Love's getting the stuff to clean? Did you pay cash? I didn't pay for anything. I just asked if they had any cleaning supplies. When he's asked to describe the person working at Love's for the cleaning supplies, this is the part that...
But he did kind of look like he might be part Jewish.
Okay, why do you say that?
God, this is gonna sound terrible.
As if everything else he said is not terrible. Because he doesn't preface anything else about killing Athena as terrible. He's not like, God, I can't believe I'm saying that. He's just like, God, this is going to sound terrible.
God, this is gonna sound terrible. He had a decently big house. Okay.
So he prefaces that statement with, oh God, this is going to sound gross, but he had a big nose. But for everything else that he has talked about this video, about killing her, strangling her, etc., he never prefaced anything by saying, this is so terrible, guys. Like, he's just been yapping about it like it's nothing.
With his confession, the FedEx footage, the audio evidence, the DNA evidence, forensic evidence, Tanner Horner is charged with capital murder and aggravated kidnapping, which means he's up for the death penalty in Texas. He has pled guilty to capital murder and aggravated kidnapping.
Guilty or not guilty? What is your plea?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Because this is Texas and because he's pled guilty to capital murder, it doesn't matter if he wants to die by the state. There has to be a whole trial where the jurors are told by the judge, quote, there will no longer be a first phase of the trial where you will be determining whether or not guilt has been proved beyond a reasonable doubt. Your sole duty now will be to listen to all the evidence that is going to be presented to you because you will be using that evidence to determine the proper punishment to be assessed. So instead of determining whether or not he's guilty of the crime, they're going into the punishment phase. They will be deciding whether or not he deserves to die for it, whether he will get the death penalty or life in prison without parole.
Okay, I like that. I really like that. However, there needs to be additions made to this. Okay, so I don't know if in case you weren't paying attention, they're going to be presenting Tanner with all of the evidence, the irrefutable evidence that they have, not to decide whether or not he's innocent and he gets to go free. No. Like, that's out the window. They know he's guilty. The only thing they are deciding now is how bad the punishment should be. Should he get life in prison or should he get the death penalty? But I think capital punishment needs to be on the table, man. Capital punishment for something like this, he needs, I don't know, some kind of execution by rifles, like a bunch of people lining you up and then like they shoot you, or just something more brutal than the death penalty. I feel like they just inject you with something. No, they need to execute him or something.
Whether he will get the death penalty or life in prison without parole. It's not about guilt, it's about dying. Right now, Tanner Horner is in court fighting to live. The ship has sailed for the insanity plea. Any sort of argument he's making right now, his defense is making right now, is mitigation on why he should not be killed by the state. And one of the first things the defense brings up is the broken brain defense. He ate coins as a kid. That's what they're saying. A relative even comes up to testify, stating that she would babysit him and he would be chomping down on them coins, eating these coins, munching them up. They tested his butt.
So he was a dipshit. So he was dumb as fuck. Okay, like, what does that show? Okay, what is the point of bringing this up? That he used to eat coins? That he's stupid?
Defense. He ate coins as a kid. That's what they're saying. His defense is making right now is mitigation on why he should not be killed by the state. And one of the first things the defense brings up is the broken brain defense. He ate coins as a kid.
The broken brain defense. The broken brain defense? Okay.
What they're saying. A relative even comes up to testify, stating that she would babysit him and he would be chomping down on them coins, eating these coins, munching them up.
Your Honor, he ate coins as a kid. Spare him. What the fuck?
Swallowing them? Or
yeah.
Really?
They tested his body and there was roughly 33,000 micrograms of lead found in his body versus about 1,500 micrograms of a peer his age, which would put him 24 times higher than the average of lead poisoning for his age. One doctor states for the defense.
So my opinion is that Mr. Horner experienced a significant amount of lead exposure that would have impacted his health and particularly his neurological health.
Studies do show that kids that were exposed to lead.
So they actually did find a fuck ton of lead in his body. Which, I mean, scientifically, objectively, I mean, that does certainly impact your brain functions. I still don't think that should spare. I mean, I'm actually still trying to decide whether or not I'd want him to just die. I think I just want him locked up for life, to be honest. Yeah, I would prefer that. What do you guys think? What's y'all's opinion? I wouldn't want him to just get the death penalty. I'm sorry. It's just, it's too easy. It's too easy. So low-key, I want him to just be locked away for life.
they have
particularly his neurological health.
Studies do show that kids that were exposed to lead, they have reduced gray matter volume in their brains. The argument being that Tanner Horner's brain was damaged as a kid, long before he was even able to form a personality. That could lead to poor impulse control, impaired judgment, blunted ability to anticipate consequences, reduced capacity to regulate panic. But this is just one of the defense's many endless arguments. Lead exposure is just one. The defense is arguing that along with lead poisoning and exposure, autism spectrum disorder, prenatal alcohol exposure, mental illness, and a chaotic abusive childhood should be mitigating factors on why he does not get capital punishment. The defense argues that there's just something deeply wrong with his brain.
When someone's brain is what's injured, you don't see it. We don't treat it the same. We want people to push through it. We want them to be okay. We're talking about a developmental issue, a mental illness, brain damage. A bone that's 99% unbroken. It's still a broken bone.
They go on to state Tanner's injury actually came before he was born. His mother, God bless her, Melissa Horner, was working as a stripper when she was pregnant. And one of the ways she was able to get on stage and do her job was drink alcohol.
When you became pregnant with Tanner, were you still dancing?
Yes, I was.
And when you became pregnant with Tanner, were you still drinking alcohol?
Till I found out I was pregnant. But by that time I was already like 8.5 weeks.
How often would you drink?
I drank pretty heavily.
They argue that because both of Tanner's parents were addicts that couldn't take care of him, he had to be raised by his grandmother, who did end up raising him, by all accounts, as best as she could. They also continue to bring in the unofficial diagnosis of Asperger's. He's just autistic. That's not a recognized diagnosis. They're going to take a lot of angles here, but if you just listen to the interrogation tape, it's pretty clear his brain works perfectly fine. He covered up the FedEx car cameras days before he kidnapped and murdered Athena, indicating that he was planning on doing this. He has multiple tries to come up with a story that the authorities would believe. There is a lot of self-preservation that is occurring. And side note, I will say, I think he's dumb. I think he's dumb, and that's fine, but that doesn't mean anything. I think they keep
Exactly. Like all of these things may be true, like, oh, the mom was drinking a lot when he was still in the womb, which may have given him some kind of, what's it called? Fetal alcohol syndrome, which affects the brain. Sure, he might have eaten a fuck ton of coins when he was little, so he has a lot of lead in his system, which affects the brain as well. And, you know, add on to the list, right? That contributes to him having a very troubled neurological system. That doesn't excuse anything. That doesn't really explain away any of what he did.
Throwing things at the... I think he's dumb, and that's fine, but that doesn't mean anything. I think they keep throwing things at the wall to try and see what sticks. They're like, oh, he's autistic. A lot of people are autistic, and it's a bad look for the community because that has nothing to do with anything. Mm-hmm. Even the FBI agent says...
Exactly. During the majority of the interview, Mr. Horner was very articulate. He answered every question properly. Good back and forth conversation. And then towards the end of the conversation, he got very emotional and almost to the point of crying and stated to us that he couldn't believe something like this would happen and that he had his own child.
The lead detective recalls after interrogating him.
His demeanor through the course of these interviews was very laid back. I mean, he wasn't worked up, had a cool, calm demeanor, cooperated, spoke, was articulate, joked around, made jokes at times, made jokes inappropriately sometimes. And again, was able to maintain that rapport and continue to talk to him.
Does he have a wife?
He has a fiance.
Yeah. Was she there
during
the trial?
No. But there's a lot that comes up about her. And he clearly understands the consequences. He says things like, I have a fucking 1-year-old. If I lose this job, I lose everything at this point. But then Tanner comes up, like I said, with the alter ego personality 0. And I, again, want to make it abundantly clear, Tanner Horner has never been diagnosed with DID. The defense is not even trying to argue that he has been or that he does have DID. Quite frankly, I think this is his attempt at portraying himself as someone with DID to diminish his culpability in this crime. And it's not only offensive to those with DID, but it's offensive in general to anybody who has a brain bigger than the size of a garlic clove. It's not believable. It's the kind of performance that generally makes you want to look away. It's just god-awful. It's ass. Tanner claims that he was driving the FedEx.
Dude, I love when Stephanie just like goes off the rails and talks like she drops the professionalism a bit, you know? It makes her like really relatable. I like it. I don't know. Yeah.
Performance that generally makes you want to look away. It's just god-awful. It's ass.
It's ass. I fucking love her, bro. I love Stephanie.
Not believable. It's the kind of performance that generally makes you want to look away. It's just god-awful. It's ass. Tanner claims that he was driving the FedEx van, backs up into Athena, hits her, puts her in the van in a state of panic, and while he's actively deciding on what to do next, 0 takes over and decides he's going to kill Athena because she was going to tell on them, and he can't have that. So like I said, in order to switch between the two personalities of Tanner and 0, an investigator merely has to ask the very simple question of, hey 0, can I talk to you? Sure enough, with the dramatics of a high school play, he will roll his eyes back, tilt his head to the side, and turn into Zero.
I'm dead. So they just straight up asked him, I mean, can we talk to Zero? He goes, you want to talk to Zero? Okay. I'm Zero. What do you want to ask me? Bro thinks this is Jujutsu Kaisen, and he's bringing out Sukuna.
Roll his eyes back, tilt his head to the side, and turn into Zero. It's worlds apart from what someone with actual DID does when they switch, and resembles more of like the TikTok trend where you suddenly decide you want to be mysterious or you stop giggling and you make sharper eye contact. The performance alone makes you want to hold his eyes open and make him stare directly into an eclipse. But we have to cover it. Another thing to note is the investigators do play into it. They were suspecting Tanner of being involved. They want to bring Athena home. They don't really care what it takes to do that. And even if it meant playing into his delusions of having an alter ego being the one to blame, it's not that they're leaning into this because there is any believable evidence of Zero being real. This is just investigators investigating, nothing more. And they state that multiple times during this trial. They're like, I didn't believe him for a single second, but I'm trying to get answers. I'm just building rapport. The investigators bring out Zero, aka Tanner Horner. He's squatting up against the back of the jailhouse and he's smoking a cigarette.
Wait, I'm sorry. Where in timeline are we?
This is right after they find her body, I think.
Okay.
He keeps wanting to talk to the investigators.
Oh, okay.
And he's asked, did she tell you she didn't want to go with you? Of course.
What'd you tell her? Going on a ride.
She didn't try to fight you when you told her you're going on a ride? He says that she's, yeah, begging, but he didn't really care. I need to ask Zero one more question.
Zero, I need you. Talk to me. I know Tanner didn't. You saw this girl. I know Tanner didn't hurt this girl, but I know you did. Did you saw this little girl?
Okay, hold on. Let me rewind it.
Yeah, begging, but he didn't really care. I need to ask Zero one more question.
Zero, I need you. Talk to me. I know Tanner didn't. You saw this girl. I know Tanner didn't hurt this girl, but I know you did. Did you saw this little girl? No. Did you kill this little girl, Zero?
I wouldn't do it.
Oh, ew! Wait.
Did you kill this little girl, Zero?
I wouldn't do it. Because he's a coward.
Zero, did you kill this little girl? This is still Tanner, by the way, but he's pretending to be Zero now. Tanner wouldn't do it. He's too much of a bitch boy. It's like Venom. You know, like, you guys know how Venom takes over and then he controls Eddie Brock in the Venom movie? Like, oh my god.
Zero, why do you call Tanner?
You made me tell you.
Zero, how long have you been with Tanner?
About 6 months.
Where did you find him?
So this is why I think it's an insult to anyone, not even just with DID, but just with a brain, a functioning brain that is not... No, he has a functioning brain.
It is very insulting, though, because a lot of people do struggle legitimately with DID. And this guy, Tanner, he's basically mocking it. He's making a mockery of the disorder. The disorder is not like that at all. He's portraying it as like the cartoon exaggerated version of it.
This is insulting to anyone that has to listen, because the fact that he doesn't even understand what he's trying to do, he doesn't understand the lie that he's trying to put out. So he starts kind of developing this weird thought process of maybe he's a spirit that goes from body to body, because the way that he answers these questions is so bizarre. Like, they're asking him, where did you come from? I don't know. What made you come to Tanner? I was vulnerable. As if he's just like a parasite looking for a host. Where did you find him?
I found him when he started taking his medicine. He wanted to die. I would have. He seems to be more in control most of the time. Why do you want to talk to me?
He claims that Tanner didn't want to handle the reality. What was his reality? The fact that he let a child die? He also says that Tanner wants to die, but quote, he wants to die, I want him to die, but I want to live. Side note, all these videos are played during the trial, and Tanner Horner is watching all of this play out in the courtroom. He's consistently wearing a gray dress shirt. He's got his elbow propped up on the table. He leans his cheek into his hand. He has a very disengaged look most of the time. There is this one point where he does look at one of the live streaming cameras in the courtroom, and he just looks like he almost has this tiny smile on his face. Then the video cuts to him in the interrogation room. The officers ask him, have you told us everything? Who? What? Have you told us everything? Me?
He went away. Like, just me.
Okay. Did you have Zero?
It's not Zero.
Tanner?
Yeah.
Welcome back. You okay?
I'm a little flabbergasted, I guess.
Why is that?
Because I was in the backseat watching everything happen, and I'm kind of freaking out.
Is there anything
Oh my god, I just want to beat the fuck out of him. I'm kind of flabbergasted. I was in the backseat of my own brain just watching Zero take the wheel, watching Zero talk to you. I can promise you these Texas investigators are laughing behind closed doors at him.
Because I was in the backseat watching everything happen and I'm kind of freaking out.
Is there anything Zero didn't tell us that you can remember? Or we've been in?
I mean, I've been in and out the entire time. He hasn't really let me come out at all. Okay. This is a weird type of respect because you actually you addressed him, which I think is okay.
There's a lot to process, Tanner. There's a lot that happened. So we're going to step out and give you a second and just give you a second to process that, okay? Just give us a minute. When they come back, they decide that they want to talk to Zero further because Tanner, all he does is put on this really god-awful show of pretending to be Tanner. They're all Tanner. He says,
I tried to set it up like someone else did.
How'd you do that?
He went with a timeline story.
So he's talking about the green van man. Is that where the story about the green van and the Hispanic male came from? So he's like, yeah, it was a Hispanic male in his 50s. Yeah. Was that your biggest fear, that Tanner would get put away? Constantly. Did you immediately, as soon as y'all hit her, did you come out and take over fearing that maybe Tanner would get y'all put away, or did it take some time? Tanner was worried about that little shit. Why didn't you want to help her? Do you want to help anybody? No, not other than myself. Have you ever been anywhere else, Zero? Have you ever done this before? No. Is this your first time? Of course. He won't let me out most of the time. Right now, he just doesn't want to deal with anything. Have you ever made Tanner do this before this time? No. So if Tanner had never hit her with a truck, you would have never done this. If Tanner wouldn't have hit her with the truck, none of this would have happened. Right now, we would be getting ready to go out to the bar and celebrate our brand new car. He even talks about how he, quote, Zero, met Cassie, which is the fiance, and he says, but between us, she likes it better when we fuck. And like, I just want to say, everything about this interrogation sounds like someone who watched...
What? He likes it... Wait, what?
She likes it better when...
Between us, she likes it better when we fuck. So the fiance likes it better when Zero takes the wheel to fuck. What the hell?
And like, I just want to say, everything about this interrogation sounds like someone who watched the movie Split and just decided that he was gonna try to embody this. If it weren't the most asinine crime that we've heard of recently, it would be cringe. That's the description of how he handles himself, the mannerisms, how he responds as Zero.
But now Tanner has to take over.
Tanner has to take over when?
Only
How long do you keep him away?
the longer I've been here, the longer I'm able to keep control. I think we found ways to block Tanner out.
How do you do that?
I make her go to sleep.
Wait, you killed that little girl. Was Tanner trying to stop you?
He was trying to get to sleep.
He also says that Cassie, the fiance, knows about Zero at this point. Quote, at this point, we're both kind of developing a relationship with Zero. And then Tanner comes out and is talking about Cassie. And he explains to the detectives that Cassie has met Zero. I think this is true. I think Cassie has met Zero in the sense of, I think both of them are, I think definitely Tanner Horner is strange. How do I put this lightly? I think they both play into it.
Who, the both?
The fiance.
Really?
Maybe she genuinely in her heart of hearts believes that he has DID. He claims that she also has DID and she gets it from her grandma, which is not how DID works. Both of them, I feel like they both kind of play into it and it's just none of it makes any sense.
Has she spoken out or no?
No.
To her, she basically dating two people. And Cassie herself, she has multiple. But she gets that from her grandmother. I only have one. She says I have three, but I haven't seen evidence of the third.
Which again, like that's not how it works. He says he's traumatized by this because of what Zero did.
I'm wondering who the hell's been in my head this whole time, because for a long time we've been cool, we've been tight. Like, me and him and Cassie all have conversations together. Still part of me is in denial because I didn't pull the trigger.
This was also shocking to me because me, Zero, and Cassie, I mean, we're all buds. We be close. We be chatting and stuff. Like, shut the fuck up, bro. What the fuck?
I tried to disarm the gun, trying to stop all of this from happening.
What gun?
There's no gun, but he's saying, metaphorically.
Oh.
And then Zero takes over, and Zero says the only reason he got rid of Athena was, quote, well, I can't have any fun if I'm in jail. And he just gives off these nasty one-liners as if he's in a D-grade Hallmark movie.
So did they ask him who put the tapes on the cameras? Or
Yeah.
what happened then?
No, he doesn't give a straightforward response to the tape on the cameras, the sticky notes on the cameras. In a separate conversation, the officer tries to summarize his thoughts. And they're like, okay, so Tanner keeps you, Zero, from suppressed, from hurting anybody. But when Tanner hurts her, runs her with a truck, that keeps you from partying. That keeps you from your cocaine. That keeps you from doing what Zero likes to do. So you knew if you didn't take control that Tanner would get you guys put in jail. Is that right? You knew that if you didn't take complete control, take care of business, Tanner wouldn't, because he's what? A little bitch. You've never taken on somebody else? You've never been with any other person, only Tanner?
Let us go for several years. Why this is the first time? A bit room here.
When were you at Tiger 4?
Only was 12.
Did you do anything when he was 12 or 13? Did you hurt anybody then?
Only Tanner.
Again, I do not think that he has GID. I tend to believe that he has a firm grip on reality, as well as a very loose grip on the fact that he has the moral character that only a mother could love. And I think that's not even true at this point. Throughout the multiple interviews, there will just be times where he says things that showcase how out of touch he is. I think that this has nothing to do with a lack of development in the brain. This is all to do with you're just a shit person. You can't say that you're fucking evil and say, oh, it's because my brain did not develop completely. You're just fucking evil. The investigators are asking him.
Thank you, Stephanie. Finally, some logic, some reason. I was starting to get brain fatigued from listening to Tanner and Zero, quote unquote, talk. I was losing brain cells, but hearing Stephanie come in with the logic, with the brains, yeah, like, thank you. I needed that.
When you were talking to her, oh, it's because my brain did not develop completely. You're just fucking evil. The investigators are asking him, when you were talking to her, did she tell you her name?
So she just told you her name was Athena, right?
Which I actually thought that was pretty cool because, you know, I like mythology and stuff like that. Yep.
There are other points in the interviews where he starts almost talking to the detectives as if he's trying to show them how cool he is. For example, he's asked to describe who he all lives with in the house. And he says, my mom, my little brother, my grandmother, and Cassie, the fiance, and several annoying dogs. What kind of dogs? Itty bitty little ankle biters?
Me and Cassie, our cat, and an annoying little shit named Draco.
What breed is Draco?
Not sure exactly, but he's part Chihuahua. Part Chihuahua, part annoying as shit.
It's like very reminiscent of a middle school.
Part Chihuahua, part annoying as shit. Did he think we were gonna laugh at that? They both thought he was a comedian with that shit.
They're trying to curse.
Exactly, but he's part Chihuahua. Part Chihuahua, part annoying as shit.
It's like very reminiscent of a middle schooler trying to curse in front of the high schoolers to appear cool, but housed in the vile body that is Tanner Horner, a man in his 30s. In another segment, he's yapping about his.
Cook him, Stephanie. Cook him. Oh my god, I fucking love Stephanie.
Like curse in front of the high schoolers to appear cool, but housed in the vile body that is Tanner Horner, a man in his 30s. In another segment, he's yapping about his ex-girlfriends, one of them named Nicole, who he describes her being as dumb as brick. He says,
she ended up cheating on me with two different black guys. So, which eventually...
With two different what?
Is brick. He says,
she ended up cheating on me with two different...
She ended up cheating on me with two different black guys? Bruh. So, like, not only is he a cuck in his own DID world because, you know, he said something about how his wife, his fiance, enjoys fucking Zero more. But even in real life, his girlfriend cheated on him with two black guys. Bruh.
One of them named Nicole, who he describes her being as dumb as brick. He says,
she ended up cheating on me with two different black guys. So, which eventually ended up telling me later on what was really going on, actually.
Also, just like the whole Jewish thing and then the black thing, like, I'm like, I think you're anti-Semitic and I think you're racist, but you're trying to play it off. That's the vibe. The way he even phrases it, I think you have to watch the clip to see, but the way it's almost, he says that he had a problem ghosting girls because, quote,
I always use that like we're flirting, like all this other shit, you know, like sometimes we'd sleep together, all that shit, but then like afterwards I'm just like, shit, I don't know where to go from here.
So he has a reputation of ghosting girls. He states that he had a habit of being a player.
I started realizing getting older, I need to settle down essentially. Okay.
So that's why he got with Cassie. Every other answer is framed as woe is me. So when he's not trying to sell this weird alter ego personality Zero, then he's talking and trying to be cool with the officers. And then every other response after that is woe is me. And I don't think it registers in his English pea-sized brain that he's not the victim in this situation. He's asked questions like, when you start choking her, facing away from you, like you stated earlier, how long did it take her to essentially pass out or stop crying? Was it long or short?
It's probably about a minute, but it felt like so much longer.
And there's this undercurrent, it sounds like he feels bad for himself that it took longer, like it felt so long to kill Athena. Not that Athena suffered for so long. He leans against the wall during the interrogation.
Am I gonna go home at all?
No, you're not. He says about this whole experience, aka murder, he says,
it's just gonna be fucking with me a lot. Can I hurt a kid? Can you not just shoot me mad? I just want to be with my family. Before I get your shit together.
Then he goes on to rant.
The way he's talking pisses me off too. He's like trying to make himself look like a widow baby. A widow baby. Like, oh, I just a little baby. I just a baby.
You're gonna be fucking with me a lot. Can I hurt a kid? Can you not just shoot me mad?
Can you just shoot me in the head?
I just want to be with
I just want to be my family. I just want to be my family.
my family. Before I get your shit together.
Then he goes on to rant almost.
I'm gonna miss out on the best part of my child's fucking life, okay? This is one of those probation things. This is one of those I'm going away for a long time things, and I'm gonna miss out all of my time.
Somebody in chat just goes, fuck your family, dog. Just so straight to the point, so bluntly. Man, fuck your family, man.
I'm going away for a long time things, and I'm gonna miss out all of my fucking sons. I would rather die I'm gonna miss out on always on his Christmases, his birthdays, him growing up. I'm gonna miss out on everything. All because I listened to some stupid voice that isn't probably even there.
Audaciously, he asks the authorities if he can just be free for a month after admitting to murder of a 7-year-old girl. He asks if he can just have a month to spend Christmas with his families. And this is why, again, I feel like he watches those movies and he thinks that they're all real. Like he watched Split once, because the way he asks, he's like, give me a month. I just need a month. You're not an undercover CIA agent. You're scum.
I want a month what? Even if you want to put GPS monitors, check out with you. Like, if you give me a month with my family so I can have Christmas with my son, I'll tell you everything.
I'll be completely honest with you, Tanner.
That's beyond your power, I understand.
Yeah, no, it's something that I can't even feasibly think that's possible, but I don't know that for sure because I'm not the prosecutor. I'm not.
Like, I'd be willing, like, even if y'all set up cameras outside the house, I want to answer everything you have to say. But the main motivation behind me wanting to talk to you is I literally just want to see my son. I understand that. I want to be there for him on Christmas. Yeah, I want to give him that good Christmas feeling.
He's making it seem like this is the biggest impact on him. However, if you put it in juxtaposition with everything else that's happening, when the investigators are trying to pull Athena's body out of the creek, he's talking to another detective about vapes.
I was vaping there for a little bit, but then I got sick with COVID like 2 weeks ago. And I switched back to smoking because I didn't need all the fluid on my lungs, because a friend of mine had like serious lung damage because he was vaping while he was sick.
Then he starts going down this thoughtless rabbit hole about how some vapes smell like pancakes and waffles, and that makes him crave pancakes and waffles, which naturally leads to a conversation. And again, I think the officer is playing into this. I don't think the officer is sitting there like, oh yeah, let me just make small talk. I think the officer is like, my body cam is on, and I'm going to egg you on and make you talk about what you want to talk about while we are pulling a 7-year-old girl's body out of the water. And he starts talking about pancakes and waffles with him. And he says that he prefers hash browns with cheese and onions, a Whataburger patty melt with a Dr. Pepper shake. And then he later asks, out of nowhere, after he's talking about food for 5 minutes,
what happens if I get an attorney right
now? You get an attorney right now? I mean, that's your choice. Your legal right.
Then he tries to bring up how the last time he was in handcuffs was 4 years ago when he attempted self-exit, and how he would have constant headaches to the point of being halfway convinced that he had a tumor in his brain. He also mentions,
I'm the kind of person where I don't go to the hospital until the very last second, which, you know, that's probably not the best thing in the world. Like, I have, like, random heart palpitations and stuff because I drink a lot of energy drinks. Like, I even have had a mild heart attack, like, a year ago.
And in the car, he's talking about how,
hey, thank you so much, Clayton Fever, for subbing. Thank you, man.
Like, I even have had a mild heart attack, like, a year ago.
And in the car, he's talking about how he semi-likes being a delivery driver, except, quote, right now we're going through peak season, which, to be honest, is kind of a pain in the butt. And I just didn't like the whole being a 1099 thing. So instead of being an employee with a W-2, he doesn't like being a 1099 contractor. And later, he motions to the officer who's driving, and he says in a teasing voice,
you're texting and driving.
Oh, this is in the car?
Yeah, later in the car.
Dude, fuck this guy. Now, after all the evidence is out, now he's all serious. Now he wants to see his kids, now everything. But, I mean, Stephanie's showing us all the footage when they had just found the body of the little girl. He was randomly talking about vaping. Then he tries cracking jokes at the officer. Like, oh, you're texting and driving. Oh, like, bro, you know why they're there. He knows what he did. He knows that there was a little girl in that exact lake. Jesus Christ, dude.
Put him in the car. They were outside the car smoking a cigarette, and then now they put him in the car and they're driving him to a second location. And
he's yapping in the car.
Yeah. He's like, ooh, texting and driving. And when it comes to the crime, he blames everyone else but him. The investigators are trying to get him to show remorse. I think they're not trying to get him to show it because that would benefit him, and it would. But I think they're just trying to understand so that they can get this all on camera to see how he really feels about it. And he can't even fake it. He can't even say words. He just talks about how he's no longer on the meds that he was placed on initially.
Now, I haven't been on the medicine in 5 days, and it's starting to wear off. I've actually been crying. Do you know what that's like? Not being able to cry for months and months and months.
Tanner, are you remorseful for what you did? Obviously, you're telling you're crying, but I mean...
I'm a father. I took all I want. It's just to spend one last Christmas with my son, and I'll tell you everything. Like,
Tanner, you got distracted and you didn't answer my question. I said, are you remorseful for what you did?
I'm a father.
Tell me about that. Are you hurting inside for Athena?
Hurting for her, I'm hurting for her family. Like, even if this was some random person, I'd still be hurting for this child.
Well, what would you want to say? If her mom and dad were here right now, what would you want to say to them?
And then he goes back to getting a month with his son. If there's even a sliver of a chance that I can get out. If I'm on like house arrest, something like that, I would be able to, right those wrongs. If I was on house arrest, I would actually be able to give my son a Christmas. I would be able to, you know what I mean? Where did you come up with this idea? Like, where is this your idea or something you saw on somebody else? The idea of asking for a fucking month. I prayed about it. Pray about it. God spoke to you. He said, this is what you should ask for. He nods. The investigator goes on to tell Tanner Athena's parents' names and what they've been asking and what they want answers to. But all Tanner can say is, "Can I speak for a minute?"
The reason I wanted to do this, I just want to spend that one last Christmas. I have videos of Christmas morning and waking up, going to go see, like, I go under the tree, see his presents. This isn't even really about me at this point. It's about that little boy. I want this because I want to be able to, for him to have something to look back on. The reason I wanted to trade this is because if somehow by some million-1 shot, they were able to put me on a monitor, put cameras around the house and everything, if y'all were able to do that, I would go no contest.
Officer, I'll come clean with everything. But this is about my little boy now. I need to give him the best final Christmas with me ever. Just give me this, and I'll come clean. You don't get that. That little girl, Athena, didn't get to say goodbye to her mom, to her family. Her final moments on Earth were spent with you. A terrifying, disgusting sack of shit. So fuck you. And you know what? I'm gonna be even more mean. Fuck you? Fuck your son? I don't give a fuck about him. He gets no closure with you. That's your fault. You don't get to have closure. Your son deserves. Okay, no, you know what? I shouldn't say that. The son doesn't deserve that. But Tanner, you deserve the guilt of your son going on with life, forever wondering, man, why was my dad like that? Like, why was my dad this much of a monster? I never saw him again. He's not there for me growing up. The dad for sure deserves to have that guilt on him for the rest of his life.
All I want is that 1 month time. Hell, not even a month, technically. Just end of the year, you know what I mean? That one last crucial time for my son. I would give up everything. I would say, just throw me in a jail cell forever. I don't care.
And it's like, you're already getting that, but...
I would give up everything. I would give up.
Fucking Stephanie with her little comments, bro.
And it's like, you're already getting that, but...
I'll be locked up behind bars forever. I don't care. I mean, you're already getting that, dumb fuck.
He says he's never done anything like this before. He's the type to cry when he runs over dogs at work, which the investigator is like, then why did you kill a 7-year-old girl? Why Athena? To which he responds, it wasn't me. Now that I haven't been on the medication, I haven't heard from Zero in 2 days. He says that none of this would have happened if he hadn't accidentally run over Athena at work saying,
I'd be at work right now. I'd be at work, saving up for Chester's Christmas, getting everything ready, just trying to get us into an apartment. I was this close. I finally got a new car.
Nobody gives a shit, bro. And fuck Chester. That's his son? Hey, L name, bro. L name. Fuck you. Fuck Chester. Anyway.
Trying to get us into an apartment. I was this close. I finally got a new car. And I was having to drive the freaking work trucks home for like a month because I didn't have a car. Because my car broke down several months ago, then Cassie's broke down. Life was getting really bad. The stress was getting too much. I'm not a bad person. I'm not a bad person. I've never been a bad person. The only bad things I've ever done is, like, occasionally I'll smoke marijuana.
And also you a child and killed her. All I've done is smoke weed. No, I think you're missing a minor thing there. I think you're missing something on the list. Yeah.
I'm an autistic, weird dude who likes music that other people tend to shut at. Well, musician. I was in a Christian punk band at one point. A Christian punk band. Not gonna lie, the vocals weren't the best. I worked years mastering my craft, and at this point I write my own music, you know, I had lyrics and everything, but I never really got to, you know what I mean? Yeah.
He talks a lot.
Yeah.
He likes to talk.
Yeah, and he thinks that everyone should care about him. Personally, I'm glad to hear that, because if you do show some type of emotion, if you do have some type of remorse, that goes a long way, as opposed to just being a cold-blooded killer monster.
If I was a cold-blooded killer, I would have been killing people for years. You know what I mean? Like, I have a conscience. I have feelings. I'm just a person. You panicked. It wasn't my decision. I wanted to let her go. There's other jobs out there. He didn't want to let her go. And now I haven't even heard from him in 2 days.
You're gonna have human emotion as a parent, as a son. You're gonna have some type of emotion or some type of thought of what I do next.
I didn't know what to do next. I just tried living my life.
Yeah.
I don't know if the only thing that I could think of, and this is such a shitty comparison, but have you ever met those people who they will stub their toe and they expect everyone to fall to their knees and care about their toe, and then someone around them will be diagnosed with a terminal illness and they're like, what does that have to do with me? This is the type of energy that Tanner Horner gives. He just does not care. When the detectives ask about why he lied about the green van, he blames it on Zero, saying, I mean, obviously he would know, like, we share the same memories. He has access to my memories, and my dad used to have an old green Astro van, and I think that's where he got that from.
When we were talking to Athena, me and Zero were also arguing. Yeah, like, I was trying to, like, you just put her back and forget the whole fucking thing. Yeah, he seemed a little bit different than normal, too. Like, he's normally, like, he's the cool guy, you know what I mean? So, but he was a little bit more manic than normal, I guess, so it was kind of weird. I remember there was a point where me and Zero were getting verbal, like outward verbal versus inside the head verbal. And she was kind of like freaking out over it.
And again, it's like you watch the movie Split because there's no depiction of this in any of the audios that they retrieved from the FedEx truck.
Well, how was she freaking out? Like, she was just kind of looking at us like, why is this dude talking to himself?
Tanner is the type of person that thinks at such a pace that you can almost see the thought forming inside of his dense skull, and then he acts on it. And once he realizes the detectives are not putting in as much effort to believe the alter ego Zero's existence, he asks them, can y'all do some research on something for me? Sure.
Can you look at some of the potential negative psychoactive effects of potentially Prozac?
And then he notices one of the investigators fidgeting with his fingers. Oh, you did the same thing? I do that because I'm a drummer. You can see scars from years and years of playing drums where I bust in my fingers. The investigator's like, okay, well, let's get back to the topic. And he says, I guess the whole motivating factor, again, going back to the why, is you bumped this little girl with the truck and you're thinking I'm going to lose my job, potentially my freedom. He says, I wasn't worried about losing freedom part because honestly, that's an honest accident. He's like, why would I go to jail for running her over? It was an accident, which again, no one thinks that he did that, but.
All it would take is going up there and just talking to the parent and like, hey, I accidentally bumped your daughter. Like, there's more jobs out there, you know what I mean? Like, it's not hard to find a job. I mean, shit, like, I set her on the back of the van, trying to calm her down, but she wasn't calming down. Zero kind of took over.
One of the last things Athena wrote in her school journal was about stranger danger. That's what the class was learning at the time leading up to Christmas, is who a stranger is, what to do when a stranger approaches you, who not to trust. And I think that adds a really twisted layer to this case because it's not that it would make it any better, but I think that there is this knowledge that Athena knew what kind of danger she was in as it was happening. And I know that sounds obvious to adults, but it's even from the second it started, she knew she was in danger. And I think the part that people find heartbreaking is the fact that from the second that she was hauled into that van, she would have had a lot of conscious thoughts about what is happening and this is dangerous and this is bad, and it would have probably made her feel a lot more panicked. She was learning of what to do in the event of stranger danger. And like I said, one of the most damning pieces of evidence in this trial is the audio footage of Athena's murder. This was played in court for the jurors and
Yeah, I want to expand on, okay, hold on really quick. I do want to expand on that a little bit more. Like, kids don't really have a solid idea yet of like the types of danger that they're in a situation like this. The only thing she did know though is stranger danger. Like, this is not good. That's what was probably playing in her head. Not good. This is not good. This is dangerous. So like, while she was being taken by this man and then put into the back of the FedEx truck, the most heartbreaking thing is it's not even just fear. I think she was just like super confused. She knows something bad is gonna happen, but again, she's an innocent 7-year-old child. She doesn't know what types of evil exist. You think she really knew about grape SA? You think she knew about murdering? You think she knew the concept of human trafficking or trafficking? No, but she knew definitely, oh, I'm not supposed to be here. Like, something bad is probably going to happen to me. And that's almost scarier because the fear of the unknown. You don't know what's coming, but you know it's bad. And you're just waiting for it to happen.
About what is happening, and this is dangerous, and this is bad, and it would have probably made her feel a lot more panicked. She was learning of what to do in the event of stranger danger. And like I said, one of the most damning pieces of evidence in this trial is the audio footage of Athena's murder. This was played in court for the jurors, and all of the live streaming cameras, thankfully, had to be shut off so the public could not hear it. There were press members in the courtroom who described some of the jurors' reactions as well as what was heard in the audio, but it's a lot. I don't even think they played the full footage for the jurors because they were just sobbing, breaking down. A lot of them were trying to hold back tears. A lot of them were outwardly just dry heaving and sobbing.
The jurors, right?
The jurors. The prosecutor describes it as,
You're going to hear what a 250-pound man can do to a 67-pound child. And when I say it's horrible, I mean it. I've been doing this 25 years, and I promise you, buckle up. It's an hour. It's not 5 minutes. It's an hour.
An hour of audio, and dude. Okay, thankfully, I don't think Stephanie, I mean, I don't even think she could if she wanted to, but I don't think we're going to listen to any bit of the audio in this video. I don't even think it's available, but thank God we're probably not going to listen to it, because he said, you're about to hear what a 250-pound man can do to a little girl like that. That's enough for me right there of a description.
And it's not just one time that he's trying to kill her. It's over, and over again. You can hear the banging in the truck. You can hear the screams. This is what's coming. It didn't happen fast.
The first thing that Tanner says to Athena when she's in the van, he leans down towards her face and says, "Don't scream or I'll hurt you." She tries to tell him that he can't take her because she has school tomorrow. And Athena Strand asks him if he's a kidnapper, and Tanner responds by demanding she take off her shirt. Athena screams and cries for her mom and tells Tanner, "You can't do that to me." You can hear her,
This is just heartbreaking. She had no idea what was actually coming next, but for a little girl to have said that, "You can't do this to me," as he's taking off her shirt. Oh my God.
So we know that there was male DNA found on the vaginal and anus swabs, but they also, in the audio, there is very clear apparent gagging noises from Athena.
Yeah, nah, kill him. Nah, that's all I had to hear. I mean, okay, I've heard enough, honestly. Like, obviously, a essay of any sort is enough. They heard gagging. No, fuck that shit, dude. I want these officers to just grab a knife and just stab him straight in the throat, pry out his trachea. And I want to see him cry, because he's the type of bitch to just like cry after like being caught red-handed after like essaying this little girl.
Gagging noises from Athena. Now, Tanner would later try to come up with this lie that he was trying to get her to swallow a pill. I guess a pill to sedate her or something, but it's pretty apparent that he was assaulting her. And she screams for her mom, and she screams, "You can't do that for me." You can hear her gasp for air, begging to go home. At one point, Tanner Horner sings Christmas music, Jingle Bell Rock specifically, because it was playing in the van. The audio footage is so bad that Athena's mom even apologizes to the jurors for what they have to see. Maitland is Athena's biological mother, and I do want to make it clear that Maitland's favorite color is not pink. Athena's favorite color was pink, but she goes up on the stand in a pink blazer. She's been in court every single day wearing pink. Her whole head of hair has been dyed pink. It's been pink for a really long time. Right now, it's a pastel pink color. Previously, it was a much darker, vibrant pink. And every day she's there wearing pink, and she gets up on the stand to testify, and she talks about what her life has been like. We're going to get into all of that soon, but she says about the audio, she could only listen to a minute. She says, "I couldn't get past a minute."
And I'm very sorry to all of the innocent people that do have to watch that. I am so sorry. I'm sorry to you, and I'm sorry to y'all too.
She does not have to be apologizing. She does not have to be apologizing at all. Like, this is not her doing. Like, nah, yeah, she does not have to apologize. And that's really nice, by the way. That's really sweet. The fact that she dyed her hair pink, she's wearing pink, once again, to remember Athena, because it was her favorite color.
And I'm sorry to y'all too, because none of us, not Athena, not me, not anyone in this room, besides Tanner Horner, asked for what's on that video. And Athena definitely didn't.
After the prosecution present all their evidence, it's now time for the defense, and it consists of just trying to paint this very sad picture of the sad life of Tanner Horner. As Tanner describes it, his dad was a crackhead, his mom is a heroin addict, and he was raised by his grandparents. Those are direct quotes. "Well, my grandmother and my step-grandfather," which I consider him a grandfather than anybody because he's the man that raised me. He says for his childhood, his dad was in and out of prison, and his mom was also in and out of jail constantly. And the part that really gets me is he says, because now he's in jail. He says, "I actually worked on this, when my mom and my grandmother come to see me, I actually worked on this clever line."
Oh, wow, the tables have turned.
Because now he's the one in jail. But he says that he's glad his grandparents raised him because, quote,
"I'm glad they did, because I wouldn't be the kind of person that literally buys fucking homeless people food."
The defense brings up his rough upbringing. They also bring up the fact that he's autistic. People that know Tanner say that he made it his whole personality, that he is autistic. He threw it out there in every conversation, but not in the sense of, oh, I'm trying to connect with people, or I'm trying to describe why I may behave in certain ways that a neurotypical person would not. It's not like that. It's not like, oh, I'm trying to connect with someone. Maybe you have certain things that you do that you could relate to. It's not like that. It's just to justify things. That's what people say. It's like he's always justifying an action or mistake or straight up wrongdoings by saying that he's autistic.
Every time he tries to pivot to some kind of mental illness like DID, autism, what else did he say? Or like, yeah, whatever. Anything else he's said, it's never really to draw connection, to be like, yeah, like this mental illness, like I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this. I'm sure a lot of people do these habits that I do. It's never for that. It's literally just to try and downplay and to justify his actions, to excuse what he did.
In his mind,
to try and get a lesser sentence, I should say.
What people say, it's like he's always justifying an action or mistake or straight up wrongdoings by saying that he's autistic. In his mind, because he's on the spectrum, he can do no wrong. His defense wrote in a filing that his quote, autism reduces his moral blameworthiness. A lot of autistic people are just fed up with this trial because they're like, that. Why is the defense doing this? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It just makes us, it adds a stigma to our community. Most autistic people wouldn't hurt a fly. They're like, what's happening? And on top of that, Tanner Horner has been accused of SA and SA against minors several times before this. A woman named Shay Marie had posted on Facebook for years. Friendly reminder that Tanner Horner likes to take advantage of drunk 16-year-old girls. Another one, friendly reminder that Tanner Horner is a rapist. And these are back from 2019.
Multiple years ago. He's been being weird with minors. Like actual, like assaulting them in person. He's been doing this. And he only went younger.
Against her?
Yeah, friendly reminder that Tanner Horner is a rapist. And these are back from 2019.
Against her?
Yes. This would have been when Tanner was 23. She's 16. Years before Tanner would go on to kill Athena Strand. She made another post around the time of his arrest and said, Tanner Lynn Horner, the man who at 16, 8 years ago, murdered Athena Strand, a 7-year-old girl. I hope the family gets justice that they deserve. I hope he rots. And I hope that everyone who didn't believe me when I've talked about this for 8 years, fuck all of you.
And I like how she used the word rape there. Like, she was just like straight up like, he raped me when I was 16 and he was what, 23, 24? Like, if you have sex with a 16-year-old, that's just.
She's also posted on TikTok about what's happened, saying that nobody believed her at the time. She's also posted screenshots of what people widely believe to be a conversation between Shay and Cassie, the fiance, but it's not been verified. But it appears that the fiance is messaging Shay, saying things like, hey, Shay, I heard you were with Tanner, but he was lying to me and all kinds of shit. So I was just going to ask what happened. And Shay Marie confides in her, saying like, oh, well, you should know that he physically took advantage. He raped me. Like, this is what happened. I'm telling you right now. Like, this is a shit person. And if this is
so it wasn't even consensual, which wouldn't make a difference, right? It's like still statutory, right? But like, it wasn't consensual from the beginning. He got her drunk to do what he did, to have sex with her, a 16-year-old when he was 23 or 24 years old. So yeah, it was just actually straight up. Even if she was of age, even if she was 18 plus, that would be
he raped me. Like, this is what happened. I'm telling you right now. Like, this is a shit person. And if this is truly Cassie, I think this is why a lot of people dislike her as well. There's a response to Shay that reads, well, don't worry though, he's attached to me now. And Shay writes, okay, question mark, question mark. All I'm saying is him and I are still kind of together, but not like I fell deeply in love with him and he won't leave me alone, because I do love him and he doesn't want to get rid of me. Like, we technically are not together, but still are. I don't know, it's hard to explain. If this is Cassie, I think this is where a lot of the vitriol against her stems from, which Cassie is someone that Tanner met and potentially groomed. I believe that she was 17 years old when they met as well. And about meeting Cassie, he says,
I met her and it just kind of clicked, which is really weird because her mom was trying to hit on me and her mom's like, your daughter's a lot cuter, man. Like, you're like 50.
They share a young son together. He doesn't speak nicely about Cassie either. He says that she's not working and, quote, she's using my Grubhub account to go get money every once in a while, but it's gone by the next day. So at least from this point, she's at least providing money for her own dumb shit. Dude, she will go and do Grubhub to order Grubhub later. Like, gotta love that girl, but so dumb. He also complains about how people think he's dumb, but he's actually a lot smarter than people think. Before his arrest in the Athena Strand case, he was charged with 3 counts of SA of a child dating back to 2013. 2 separate women have testified in court thus far that Tanner Horner raped them when they were both minors. And while now it's the defense's turn to try and make a compelling argument for mitigating factors of why he should not be killed by the state, there's a lot of things that we do need to keep in mind. Like the fact that during the interrogation, the lead detective is telling him when they find Athena, they're going to have a medical examiner look at Athena's body. They're going to know a lot of things. So we're going to know, we're going to be able to essentially corroborate what you're telling us now. So is there anything else we're going to find out? Because I don't want you to lie to me. So tell us what we need to know. And he's like, no, sir. Okay, so I think I know what you're about to ask. And no, I didn't.
You're going to ask if I assaulted her and I did not.
So everything's going to tell me that you can say.
And again, this is the argument that people are so upset by, because if someone in their right mind who genuinely did not assault someone, they would be offended. They would try to defend their character of like, no, of course not, because of A, B, C, and D. I'm not that type of person, A, B, C, and D. But his response is,
with my medication now, I don't even really have much of a libido. Okay. Like my fiance, I'll even tell you that, kind of does the rough most of the time.
He gives the same excuse to his.
So instead of, whoa, what a disgusting answer. So Tanner knew what they were going to ask next. Like, did you do sexual things with the little girl? Instead of, like Stephanie just said, instead of denying it by bringing up his moral character, oh, I would never do this. Like, I'm not that type of person. I'm disgusted that you guys would even think to ask this of me. I'm offended. No, yeah, I would just never do anything like this. Instead of that, he tries to give this overly medical explanation of, because of my medication, I'm not even horny. I'm not even horny enough to do that. Holy disgusting, bro.
Mother, when
Like my fiance, like I'm telling you, that kind of pisses her off most of the time.
he gives the same excuse to his mother when she calls him in jail. And there's a lot of jailhouse calls that are being played during the trial. And it's just a whole lot of complaining. Even to the detectives, he complained that being in jail is a lot of stress because...
Need some more water?
Yeah. Sorry, I think it's more stress than anything. And I have to, like, when I ask people for water while I'm in that padded cell, I'm sitting there waiting for, like, when I'm sitting there asking people for water, like, everybody there looks at me like I'm a monster. Which, understandably so, given the circumstance.
What's his parents' attitude?
His mom testified, and it was, I think a lot of people have limited sympathy for the mom. So just judging by her testimony, it seems that she had a very rough life, and she was dealt a lot of shit cards as well. There is this point in the testimony, though, where she says that she wants to tear his fucking eyes out because of what he did to the little girl.
Are you angry with him?
I'm so mad at him. I want to just tear his ass out.
And she's very emotional. So it seems that people do not, she's not one of those moms that's like, my son could never. However, there is this one point that she describes that that's not the son she knows, which a lot of people had problems with that wording. But she is not one of those moms that's like, no, my son could never. My son, well, maybe the victim asked for it.
I'm very empathetic and sympathetic of the mom. The mom really, in that answer, I mean, Stephanie's already saying this, but she's not giving off boy mom vibes. Like, oh, I'm defending my son until the end. He's innocent. She's not blaming the family of the 7-year-old like a lot of monsters do. But also her saying, like, oh, that's not the son that I know. That's pretty valid, to be honest. Like, for all we know, yeah, I mean, she never saw any signs of this type of behavior being exhibited by the son. So, like, that's not her defending him. That's more so like her expressing her shock at the situation. Like, oh wow, that's not the kid that I know, that I raised. Like, wow. Yeah, no, I think the mom overall is a W, like, valid. Yeah.
Is my son, but she is not one of those moms that's like, no, my son could never. My son, well, maybe the victim asked for it because my son is a saint. She's not doing that. Dad is dead. Yeah. But during one of the initial jailhouse calls to his mom, she picks up and she's like, are you okay? Not really. You want to tell me what happened? I pulled into this driveway and all that stuff. I was pulling forward and I was backing up and I hit this little girl. Okay, go ahead.
I pulled into this driveway and all that stuff. I was pulling forward and I was backing up, and then I saw her rolling. And then, she was crying. I tried to only go down, and it didn't work. My thoughts were, oh my God, Amelia's my child. Everything started. I know. I didn't know what to do, Mom. What did she get out her own? No. Oh my God. I know. Like, Kathy has even tried calling me up here, like,
Then there's this very disorienting moment where he asks about the bail.
So, was it you guys who tried calling bail or whatever it's called? Yeah. How much was it? Nothing, I mean. Are you kidding me?
He starts complaining about that.
Brother essayed a little girl, then killed her, then disposed of her body in a lake, and he's surprised and upset that the bail is $1.5 million. The bail should be higher. It should actually be higher than $1.5 million.
So he starts using that as an excuse. In another call, he complains about how he gets reading material in jail, but it's, he asks for the Bible. He gets a version of the Bible where it has, quote, Shakespearean dialogue, and he has to constantly take breaks. And though I tend to think that it's not a problem of the version, but rather he's just giggling about how he's not in the crazy room anymore. He's in the less crazy room, but still, the version of the Bible sucks. He also says, you could not believe all the crazy letters I'm receiving.
Like fan letters?
I don't know if it's hate, fans, other child molesters. I don't know. He also talks about how all the news outlets are
Bro, Stephanie is so fucking funny this episode. What the hell? I love her this episode.
the crazy letters I'm receiving.
Fan letters?
I don't know if it's hate, fans, other child molesters. I don't know.
Other child molesters, his network of friends.
He also talks about how all the news outlets are reaching out, and he also complains. Oh, more on that in a second. But he also complains about like the dumbest shit. He says, I had an ingrown nail the other day, and I started messing with it, and they don't let me cut my fingernails, so it just kind of gets bad. And then his mom is trying to give him some perspective of like, well, yeah, your time is bad in there too, but also she says you're not getting all the hate that I'm getting here.
Hate shit you're receiving any of these. I don't know what they're saying on TV, because I guarantee they're all making it worse than it is. Oh, yeah. Stop. You get right for that. No. Because see, on my medication, I need to get up for Kathy. Oh, that's a little bit too much information, but still. Oh my.
He says the news reporters, journalists, investigators, major publications are all monsters.
They want their story. That's all they want. That's why I can't get to like right now. They're like, hey, you get on me out and give you like $1 billion extra. Yeah, I'll give you a story.
And he says he's going to demand $1 million from news networks. And with that $1 million, he's going to get his baby a nice house, fix up his mom's house, and then give the leftovers to the family. Athena Strand's family. He says, give the leftovers. His mom tries to comfort him in jail. And again, I think this is
You got to give the entire money to Athena's family. What the fuck? Oh, they get the leftover. He probably said that thinking he sounded so nice. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to give the leftovers of that money to the family. Like, no, motherfucker, you better give at least 80% of the entire pool of money if you did that. But yeah, obviously he's not going to do that, so.
He says, give the leftovers. His mom tries to comfort him in jail. And again, I think this is why people have limited sympathy for her, but she's saying things like, the people that know you're not that kind of person. I'm sorry for you. And he says, I don't want people to be sorry for me.
There's one like next to Dexter, dude. Like, just looked at me like, with this like hate-filled rage in his eyes. Apparently, they might keep me from the general population. I'm a bit of an introvert, so it's not a big deal.
And she's just like, okay, well, I just want you to know that many people are concerned about you.
Like, these are people you need to send my attorney's way. He needs many character witnesses.
So these are court-appointed attorneys, so it's hard to, yeah.
He's proud about that, huh?
Yeah. He's actually working his ass off right now, as far as I'm concerned. And I just imagine the attorneys hating their lives sitting next to him. I can sense it on the cameras. But hey, do not take toilets for granted. Sometimes I can't even have a toilet. He also says things like, I'm pretty sure everybody knows, according to my attorney yesterday, this is literally like national news. It's not like Texas news, it's national.
I always wanted to be famous, but not like this shit.
He says, I feel bad for the family. I miss my son.
He's calling himself famous. He's like, wow, man, this is national, not just within the state. This is national news. Wow.
I even got arrested.
I always wanted to be famous, but not like this shit.
He says, I feel bad for the family. I miss my son before I even got arrested. He complains about one of the guards saying, she just literally hates me. It's not professional. She's an older lady. Ironically, her last name is Collard. Ironic because I tried collard greens for the first time when I was in here, by the way. Oh my God, it's so good. I'm like, oh man, I'm actually gonna be able to poop.
What's going on? He's like what's going on?
He doesn't care about anyone else but him.
He's just a yapper. I tried collard greens in here and I can finally shit my pants in peace. Yeah, the shit just like finally falls out of me.
He thinks that if he says something was a mistake, everyone should forgive him and baby him for finding himself in this situation. He complains about how he had to eat applesauce paired with something that wasn't good, but at least he gets reading material. Again, quote, I'm just glad I'm getting some reading material from the library because holy crap, I need to put my head in a good fantasy book. He does want someone, however, to send him a meditation book because, quote, it helps when I'm having an anxiety attack because being stuck in a box, you're going to end up getting a little bit of anxiety. When I start getting that anxiety, I'll sit down, meditate, try to block out everything, relax, it helps. He also wants manga, Dragon Ball Z manga, and when this part is played out in court where he talks to his family about wanting them to send manga, he laughs into his hand, like he chuckles, as if like, oh my God, look at me being so quirky.
Dude, not Dragon Ball Z, man. Don't touch that series, bro. If anything, I wish Goku was real so he could come and just Kamehameha your fucking skull, your face, your head off. Let me see, where is it?
And all of them were titled, so one of them is for Athena's family, one of them is Detectives Only, one of them is Legacy Church, and one of them is for Cassie. He had these all sprayed out. And this is where I say the timeline gets very confusing. So at first when he is talking about what happened, he's like, I don't know what happened. I'm just as sad as everybody else. I'm a father. And then he's like, oh yeah, I did deliver a package. Well, no, he says, I don't remember delivering a package. Then it goes to, I did deliver a package. I saw a man with a green van. And then it goes to, I backed up into her and she was dead. Then it goes to, I backed up into her, she was alive. And then Zero took over. And then now back in jail, he's like, actually, I'm getting framed. That's where the letter comes from. And I'm going to read you all the letters, okay? But to the one to Athena's family, it reads, to Athena's family. I wanted to start off by saying how sorry I am about Athena. The entire time I've known my legal counsel, they've continued to tell me how I don't need to apologize. I shouldn't apologize until the trial. I don't think this is true, and frankly, I can't hold it in any longer.
Yeah, no, none of that is true. He does this a lot. It's like he's such a manipulator. He tries to sneak in these little comments to boost himself up in the moral perspective even more, like to make himself seem like such a good person. Like, oh, my legal team has been telling me to not apologize until the day of the trial, but here I am writing you this letter despite their wishes, like despite their best wishes. I'm still gonna apologize to y'all because I'm such a good person. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. Yeah, right.
I've done a terrible thing to your family, and I'm sorry. I can't tell you how many countless nights I've stayed awake, unable to sleep. I pray for all of you. So many were affected by my breakdown, not just your family, but my own as well. You'll never get to see your baby girl grow up, and I'm sorry. Now, my son is going to grow up without his father and protector. I
Making it about himself.
owe it to you to explain where my mind is at. Let me start by saying that I have Asperger's syndrome. In other words, I'm on the autism spectrum. I don't
Now he's just excusing what he did by blaming it on autism and whatever else, maybe DID as well.
do well. Mind is at. Let me start by saying that I have Asperger's syndrome. In other words, I'm on the autism spectrum. I don't do well with change or things that are unpredictable in nature. When I first started as a driver at FedEx, I was given a singular route, and that route wouldn't change for a while. After a bit, my employer started making random changes in my route, avoid adding stuff from other routes so they could make more money. I don't do well with change. Again, I can have meltdowns when unexpected changes to my daily route happened. It was bad one day. I started to have suicidal episodes. I had to leave early that day, or I was going to walk myself into oncoming traffic. The only thing that stopped me was thinking of my son growing up.
Damn, I really wish he would have done that, low key. Hey, who here wishes he would have gone through with it? Hey, walking into oncoming traffic and just died and killed himself. Me, everybody say me. I wish he would have done that.
Without his father. Leave early that day, or I was going to walk myself into oncoming traffic. The only thing that stopped me was thinking of my son growing up without his father. So I took off for a week and sought out help. I got put on medication, and a week later I was back at work. I've let my employers know how I needed to keep a consistent routine and I wouldn't have any issues. However, I was ignored. When I returned, they did the opposite of what was good for someone like me. They put me on as a floater. They put me on a different route every day, every time. I reminded them that I needed to be on a routine, and it was like it would go in one ear and out the other. My mental health started to steadily get worse because of it. I couldn't just quit either. I had a son and I had to take care of him. Then on top of that, certain aspects of my home life started to fall apart as well. I guess they got sick of me constantly telling them that I needed consistency because they sold me off to another company without having any say in the matter. In hindsight, I'm starting to think that they were attempting to get me to quit, which in retrospect was kind of scummy. After a while, with the new contract I started with Big Top Spin, my life started to kind of fall back into place. I got a car again, but I was consistently stressed and had multiple minor meltdowns because even the new company had no regard for my mental health because they still refused to put me on a consistent route. The holidays came and my stress only multiplied. They forced everyone to work 6 days. 6 days as volume got higher and higher, and it was all the wrong place and the wrong time. I'm sorry I allowed my mental state to be unstable. I'm sorry I took away your little angel from you. She didn't deserve it. You all didn't deserve it. My son didn't deserve to lose his father. My mother didn't deserve to lose her son. My fiance didn't deserve to have her wedding day stripped from her. I pray that my death eases your suffering in some way. The only thing I can think of is for forgiveness and for you to remember my son and show him some grace and mercy, for he no longer has his father. Love you all, and I'm sorry, Tanner Horner. What do you mean I love you all? That also pisses me off. Like,
yeah, like you don't know these people. I love you all. Shut the fuck up. You don't know these people. I mean, yeah, you caused them great harm, but you don't know that. Why are you saying I love you? He put this into ChatGPT. No, it's even worse. Nah, ChatGPT would have done a better job than that. And that's the thing. Like, if it was actually ChatGPT, it would have been too good to where it would have been obvious he didn't write it. But this is straight up him because it's so stupid. I love you all. Like, shut the fuck. If I read that as the family of Athena, seeing the I love you at the end would have enraged me like nothing. Like, yeah, the whole thing is already enraging, but that right there is just the cherry on top.
I mean, everything about this letter pisses me off, but the I love you all.
So what are these letters intended for? Like, he just wrote it. He wanted to.
He did try to self-exit in jail.
Okay.
But I don't know if it was a full-hearted attempt.
Dude, Stephanie is a fucking savage. I swear what she was trying to say was like, this pussy, I bet he didn't even try to kill himself. I wish he would have succeeded.
If it was a full-hearted attempt.
These letters are insulting, right? Only putting salt on the wound even more.
I feel like his, and I never say this because, okay, but I think that his self-exit in these letters was performative.
God, Stephanie. Yeah, I love this side of you, man. Stephanie was like, bro, he probably tried some pussy shit. Like, he tried to overdose on these vitamin C gummies and thought that that was a suicide attempt.
It's just the most empty attempt at appearing remorseful. Because even previously, during the interviews when he was requesting to take a month for his son, they keep trying to bring him back to, as a parent, because you keep mentioning you're a parent. My question to you was, if Athena's parents were here, put yourself in their shoes for a minute, what would you say to them?
I don't know what I would say. I mean, would you apologize to him? Would you explain why you did this? Or I don't know what I would say. I would be speechless. No one deserved any of this.
And it almost seems like he's counting himself as no one. The defense attorney during cross for the lead detective says, but you would agree with me that he told you several times that he felt bad about what happened and expressed, he may not have said, I feel bad, but he expressed his emotions about what happened. And the detective leans into the mic in court during the trial and says, yes, ma'am, I did not believe him.
Ranger Espinosa, you also recognized that Tanner was being remorseful as well, didn't you?
No, ma'am.
You don't recall telling him, I see remorse in you, I see regret in you?
That is part of an interview tack in order to maintain rapport.
Later on, they also bring...
Okay. You know what? I actually didn't realize this. So this person right here, he's the investigator, the interrogator that you see in the video, in those clips. And yeah, this is basically him saying like, no, like, guys, I was bullshitting. You think I really believed him? No, that was an investigation tactic to build rapport, to build trust. I did not believe his bullshit for 1 second.
That is...
I see remorse in you, I see regret in you?
That is part of an interview tack in order to maintain rapport.
Later on, they also bring up the Google searches that were made. Okay, so there is a search that he was looking at a 3-circle Venn diagram for the 3 things being autism, Catholicism, and nerd shit. So the circles for autism and Catholicism overlap with clearly defined rules, hierarchies, and rituals. The circles for autism and nerd shit overlap at obsession over fine details. The circles for Catholicism and nerd shit overlap at silly outfits and complicated lore. And all 3 circles overlap together with BDSM. Like, he's just looking up things like this. He's also looking up, after Athena's murder, license plates, license plate types, why my fiance's family makes me out to be a demon, and YouTuber with the highest net worth, and Paradise Missing Girl. He views multiple photos of Athena Strand, even going on Facebook to look up photos and Facebook posts of Athena Strand with community members begging to find her. He also looks up, do FedEx cameras constantly record? The same day that he's doing that,
Dude, that's so hyper specific to the case. He Googled, do FedEx truck cameras constantly record? Lock him up, bro. I mean, just kill him.
Looks up a book called... He also looks up, do FedEx cameras constantly record? The same day that he's doing that, he looks up a book called Hot and Bothered, How to Think About, Talk About, and Have Sex You Really Want. It has also been stated that...
This is before or after?
This is after. And it's been stated that he... Well, okay, there has been some Karen Reed trial stuff where there's been debate of, oh, maybe this was a tab that he looked up previously and then it refreshed and then he Googled something else in the tab. But these are the things that were coming up in the search.
What do you mean Karen Reed trial stuff?
Like the How Long to Die in the Cold. So some people are arguing, okay, like this is something that he looked up days before the murder and then it refreshed because he opened that tab to Google something else. But it doesn't really matter. Yeah. Because it seems that even days before, 4 days before the murder, he was planning something. He was covering the cameras with sticky notes. So I don't think it really matters, the timeline. Additionally, it's been stated that he had intimate relations with his fiance hours after killing Athena, which would indicate that this depraved act was something that he wanted, obviously, but was also more turned on by. One netizen comment.
Yeah. Wait, that makes sense. Because, like, think about it. And this is disgusting. But, like, I mean, it adds on to how it adds on to the case of how fucking disgusting Tanner is. The fact that right after he did what he did with Athena, the 7-year-old girl, after he essayed her and killed her, the fact that he was then going home hours after to have sex with his fiance, what does that tell you? He was horny. He was turned on after that. He actually needs to be castrated.
He wanted, obviously, but was also more turned on by. One netizen comments, unless they can prove that he doesn't know right from wrong, their point is moot. Which that's not what's happening. So this is not they're not trying to say that he knows right from, well, not knowing right from wrong is more in tune with like the insanity plea, but this is the sentencing. So they're not saying that he doesn't know right from wrong. They're just saying that these are mitigating factors of why the state should not kill him. But a lot of people are arguing, I mean, he's hiding the body. That's evidence. And he knows what he does wrong. I don't understand. Other people are saying if he knew how to cover the cameras in the car and Google's if FedEx cameras record all day, he knew what he was doing. Other people are saying, so just to sum it up, the defense is wasting everyone's time in court by trying to make excuses for him. Other people are saying, well, they have to. That's the whole point. And they're commenting, I think this is better actually, because it would be better if he can't appeal. If the defense does as much as they can to do their best, then he cannot appeal, saying that he was not represented well, and the family doesn't have to go through an appeal. So really, this is probably best for Athena Strand's family, so that there's not years and years of more hearings, another trial. Like, he can't say that he wasn't adequately represented. So this is probably for the family, for the best. But they could probably tone it down a bit, I will say. There's also another scary testimony coming from one of the neighbors. He says that Tanner Horner dropped off a FedEx package the night before Athena was taken, and his 2 young girls, same age as Athena, were outside playing. And there was this very odd interaction where Tanner Horner didn't want to get out of the truck until the parents, because one of the parents was in the doorway. Wanted the parents to come get it, and he describes how, he ruined Christmas for a few kids before by giving them the package. But there was just this overwhelming feeling by a lot of people that he was...
Wait, what's going on? He gave the package directly to the kids?
To the adults. But he's saying, I don't give it to the kids anymore because I ruined Christmas once. I guess maybe one of the kids had opened the package and realized it was their Christmas present. But a lot of people feel that he was overcompensating for the fact that maybe that night he also had nefarious intentions.
Oh, he's overcompensating for not being like, by overly selling that he's not attracted to kids. Because think about it, like, it's kind of like that saying, like, why would you, a good person doesn't just say they're a good person. That usually means they're a bad person that's trying to hide that they're a bad person. It's kind of like that same logic. A person that randomly goes super extra with communicating to the world, I don't want to give things directly to kids, or like whatever, blah blah blah, I don't want to be around kids because I'm not weird, etc., etc. That signals the opposite. It's like, whoa buddy, you're trying way too hard to signal that you're not trying to be around kids. I think you actually do like kids, bro. Like, I think you do have a weird thing for kids. Yeah.
But he overcompensating for the fact that he realized it was their Christmas present. But a lot of people feel that he was overcompensating for the fact that maybe that night he also had nefarious intentions.
Overcompensating.
But he realized that the parents were in view. So he comes up with this weird, like, I never give the packages to the kids. I never talk to kids because I ruined Christmas for a kid once. Athena's mom has stated that she wants the whole world to know her baby. And I think that she has done, I hate that she's in that position, but I think that she's done a really good job of being able to give people the feeling of who Athena was. And she describes it as, there's a lot of interesting things about Athena. She loves pink and she loves Rapunzel, but also she wants to be like her Viking dad. Her favorite movie is Frozen, but she also loves to just like get in the mud and dig for the biggest worm that she can find. And it's just the way that everybody talks about Athena, I think the prosecutors point out it's sad that everything has to be in past tense, but you could just tell everyone loved her. She did recently, well, not recently, but prior to her death, she did get in trouble for smacking a kid on the bus with a water bottle. And Athena's mom testified and she said, Mommy did teach her no means no. And the prosecutors are like, so she's independent? Yeah, she gets that from me. And strong? Physically, she gets that from her father.
She was the perfect mixture of me and Jacob.
And I think that goes to show they're not even together. They were co-parenting really well.
She loved to wear her pretty princess dresses, but at the same time, she would play in the dirt in those same pretty princess dresses. And
so she was like kind of a tomboy, essentially, right? That's cute.
She would play in the dirt in those same pretty princess dresses. And she was free, and she was wild, and she was bright, and she was loving. She wanted to be loved and to give love, and that's it. It was very common for her to want to do anything outdoors with her father, so long as her father was around. She watched him butcher animals. She watched him clear property. As long as Daddy was around, she was great with being dirty and being outside.
She has a little sister, and Athena's mom says, I didn't know how to tell her little sister.
I didn't know how to tell her, and I didn't think I was strong enough to tell her. So I lied to her for a long time. I would tell her that she was just staying with her daddy for a little bit longer.
Oh, that's got to be a tough job as a mom. I mean, like, already losing a child is hard enough, but if you have other children, if they have siblings, it's the challenge now is, how do you break it to your other daughter or your other son that they're not going to see their sibling again? How do you even begin that process of eventually telling the truth about what happened? You know, you can't, like, yeah, that's got to be so tricky. Because what do you say? Like, oh, she went on a trip somewhere and she's not going to be back for years. Like, oh, like, dude, like, what? That's got to be so difficult. Such a difficult position.
And when she asked if she was just staying with her daddy for a little bit longer. And when she asked to FaceTime her or to call her, I would tell her that she was at school or she was sleeping. Or she was...
Oh man, the guilt, dude. I didn't even register that. The guilt the mom must have felt, because you have to keep lying to the kid, to the sibling, to the other daughter. Keep lying and lying and lying and lying. She's at school. She can't talk right now. She can't talk. She can't talk. Yeah.
Or she was... I would lie to her.
There you go. Yeah.
Until about a year ago. She didn't know the whole truth. And, but I didn't tell her that Athena was dead and that she had been killed until what should have been Athena's 8th birthday.
Athena's mom did Athena's makeup before her funeral. So she didn't want Jacob to see the handprints around her neck. So Athena's mom made sure to do Athena's makeup, and she didn't like the dresses they had, so she was just like mindlessly roaming around Walmart looking for the perfect dress. But like, how can you find the perfect dress? The prosecutors ask her, why did you make it a point to be at every hearing that we've had in this case? And she says, because I had to cover up the handprint bruises around my daughter's neck, and because she no longer has a voice. And I want people to know that she's not just some story, she's not just some number, she's not just some picture you see in a headline. She was loved, she is loved, and she's missed, and she was real, and she had a life, and she wanted to live. And no one can take that from her. Not a single person can take that from her, and I will be her face, and I will be her voice, and I will make sure every person in the world knows. She's asked, what is it that sticks out to you? What do you want to know? I know it sounds stupid, and I know it sounds selfish. I know he'll never tell me the truth, but I want to know where my daughter's shirt is. I want to know everything, but he won't tell me that, and I highly doubt that he cared enough to pay attention to when my daughter took her last breath. Because I brought her into this world, and I know when she took her first. I was there for that. I was there when she took her first steps and she said her first word, but I wasn't there when she took her last. So I want to know where her shirt is, maybe he could give me that much grace. Athena's mom, Ashley, also testified. She says her favorite picture of Athena is, she's very much an outdoorsy kid, and it's she's about 5 years old in this picture, and her and Alice had been playing outside in the mud all day long, and she comes up to me and she's holding this gross little worm in her hand. She's covered in mud, I mean head to toe. It's all over her face, and she's so excited to have this little worm. That's my favorite picture of her. Ashley and Jacob divorced after Athena's murder. Ashley states that definitely this played a huge role in their separation. She says that it didn't just alter their marriage, but it fundamentally impacted her.
I'm not the same. I don't trust anybody.
Okay, so this is Athena's stepmom. This is no longer... Okay, yeah, this is the stepmom.
Fundamentally impacted her.
I'm not the same. I don't trust anybody. I can't. You're just not okay after something like that. Even my 5-year-old says stuff.
And her other daughter, Ashley's daughter, she says, I mean, she lost her sister in the most horrific way. Even if a delivery driver just drives down the driveway and she's outside, she runs inside and hides. It's affected her school, it's affected her friends, it's affected her in general. She has nightmares. Jacob, Athena's dad, also testified, and his body language and demeanor just looks defeated the whole time, and he just keeps saying that he couldn't protect his daughter.
I wasn't there to protect them like I should be, like a father's role.
And even all the little kids in Athena's classroom, Miss Thompson, she testified during the trial, her teacher, and she said that it was really hard. A lot of the kids, this is her quote, some knew that something wasn't right, but I mean, everyone knew that she wasn't there, and I was having to count her absent when she was missing. And a lot of the kids, you could just tell that they were anxious, like they were worried, they knew something was wrong. And once they found Athena's body, she said that it was nearly impossible to go back to work that next Monday, but she had to, because, quote, because I knew that the rest of my class needed their teacher and they needed someone to love them and support them and help them walk through this.
We have a crisis team, which is includes local counselors within our district, people from local churches. They come in to talk and support kids. We read off a script of letting them know that their classmate is no longer there. We do activities to try to help them begin the grieving process. There's just a lot going on, like just trying to help kids cope and learn. Like this is a big thing for them at 6 and 7 years old to have to walk through. And so there's just a lot of counseling, guidance, and support that is happening.
She and her husband created a mailbox to put outside the classroom so that the students could write letters to Athena and place them in the mailbox to help them process. There were over 100 letters placed in the mailbox.
No, bro, Stephanie's crying. Wait.
So,
see, but that's what I'm saying though. The sense of community is just so strong. You would think, oh, it's just a family matter. Only the family is gonna care, right? But it's like the entire community coming together to try and help and uplift this family.
There's just a lot of counseling, guidance, and support that is happening.
She and her husband created a mailbox to put outside the classroom so that the students could write letters to Athena and place them in the mailbox to help them process. There were over 100 letters placed in the mailbox.
I hate it when she fucking cries, bro. I'm a sympathy crier. Whenever I hear somebody I'm not talking to her. You get what I'm trying to say. Whenever I hear somebody that I'm listening to, they start to voice crack. Like their voice starts to get shaky. I see their eyes watering. It does something to me. Can you guys relate to that? Like if somebody you kind of care about or somebody you respect is talking to you and you notice their voice starts shaking, it makes me want to cry.
There were over 100 letters placed in the mailbox, and she's asked about how this has altered her life as well. And she says, when I look at my life and career, it looks very different. Every day I hug my kids as they walk out the door and I tell them I love them. But now every day when I do that, and for the rest of my teaching career, I have to think about, what if they don't come back tomorrow?
I have been through hours of therapy, trying to heal from this. I have lost 2 other students back to back with this tragedy, but this has hit me the hardest. It has forever changed my life, forever changed how I teach my kids. One of the biggest moments of struggle for me was one day I had a little girl. She came out into the hall. This was about 3 months after everything. And she was crying. And she sat down and she said, Miss Thompson, I really miss Athena, but I'm afraid that this is going to happen to me too.
She says, even now, there are several kids who are now in the 4th grade and they're still having outside counselors. Several students are afraid to sleep in their own bed and will not play in the yards, in their own front yard.
Yeah, damn, it was just like a school-wide traumatizing experience. I remember, these are all super young kids, so this is super scary to them.
Athena's case took over Texas. People had pink out days, water towers, city official buildings, homes were all decorated with pink lights. And it actually kickstarted a lot of delivery drivers putting pink bows on their trucks to show support. And there was a whole trend online of, your babies are safe with us on our route. And Mattel, the company, the creator of Barbie, they did a huge donation with Athena Strand's family because that was what Athena had gotten for Christmas, and that was what was left on their porch that day.
Damn, that's so, dude, this is so, it's a sad ending, but it's like bittersweet. Like emphasis on the sweet part. The creator of Barbie themselves came to donate a bunch of Barbie dolls because that was the last thing that Athena had ordered. From the FedEx driver.
What Athena had gotten for Christmas, and that was what was left on their porch that day.
Mr. Horner, if you'd stand, please. It's the order of the court that you, Tanner Lynn Horner, has been adjudged to be guilty of the offense of capital murder as found by the jury. Jury having answered the special issues making it mandatory that your punishment be death, it is therefore the order of this court that your punishment be death. Before the hour of sunrise on a date to be determined by this court, you will be caused to die in accordance with the rules and regulations established by the Texas Department of Criminal Justice until you, said Tanner Horner, are dead. The clerk of this court shall issue a death warrant in accordance with this sentence. I will sign this death sentence as required by law.
Wait, is this the end of the video? Holy shit. Wait, I've never seen a Rotten Mango video end like this, like with only text. On May 5th, 2026, Tarrant County jury sentenced former FedEx driver Tanner Horner to death for the 2022 kidnapping and murder of 7-year-old Athena Strand in Wise County, Texas. Within a week, his attorneys filed the automatic direct appeal required in Texas death penalty cases with the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals, and he was transferred to the Allen B. Polunsky Unit and placed on death row while that appeal proceeds. I guess that's the end. Yeah, that's the end. Wow, man. I mean, like I said, it's always hard. Wow, man. Whenever I see Stephanie cry, she just cry. She doesn't cry that often. For better or for worse, she is used to a lot of the disturbing stuff that she covers on her channel. So it's like when she cries, you know, it's like bad. I mean, once again, I've already said everything I've needed to say about Tanner throughout the video. I'm not going to make the end of this video focused around him and trying to be funny and like only roasting him. I did that throughout the fucking video, and I wasn't even really trying to be funny. I just wanted to like, yeah, I just hated him. I fucking hated him. I wanted to insult him, but I'm not gonna focus too much on him. We know he got the death penalty. Yeah, as for Athena, rest in peace to her. Prayers to the family, especially her biological mom, the one that dyed her hair pink and was wearing pink in all the videos. Prayers to her. I send love to her. Prayers to the school, to the classmates that felt traumatized from this entire experience, because now they're scared to even go outside to interact with the mailman. Prayers to the teacher. This teacher, she's passionate. You can tell she cares about her job. She takes it super seriously, that she takes the feeling of her children seriously, her students seriously. So yeah, prayers to her. It's just brutal, man. It's just so brutal. There's not really much else for me to say. Huge props to Stephanie for putting that video together. I mean, that was 2 hours long. Oh, hey, W y'all too. Hey, I love y'all for that. I love y'all for that. You guys are putting pink hearts in the chat right now for her. Hey, that's really nice. Hey, I'm proud of y'all for doing that. I didn't even ask for that. And you guys are just doing that by yourselves. No, yeah, that's all. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Really appreciate it. Sorry that it was a really heavy, sad case today, but hey, justice was served. He's sentenced to death here in Texas. And yeah, see you guys in the next video. Peace out and rest in peace to Athena.